Hello, Ghostbusters.
They're real.
You do?
And they're here.
We got one!
Right. Yeah!
And there's only one team for the job. Unfortunately, they were not actually available.
Are your guys' packs fitting okay?
So we use these guys instead.
It's like we're official ghost dusters.
They're the only thing that stands between you and subpar car care.
We can check it out.
No.
Are you ready for...
Open the box.
Wait a second, guys.
Yeah, so 20% off almost everything in the Rag Company store. Also mystery boxes. I need to figure out where these guys went.
Hello, and welcome to Q&A Thursday right here at the Rag Company Podcast YouTube channel. I'm your host, Dane, and to my right, Levi Gates.
Dane, thank you.
And, of course, to my left, a new face. Actually, would you please scoot on over a little bit? We'll bring over your mic, and that way we make sure you got you on frame. Mark Perch.
Hey guys.
All the way from down under.
Well,
Thank you for joining us.
He just was in the neighborhood, thought he'd stop by,
he was
pop
hanging
in,
around.
come hang out
normal
with us.
stuff. And you actually need to scoot
I'm
a little
not that.
too.
I'm in there. What are you talking about? I'm in there perfect.
Yeah.
So, Mark, all the way from Australia, welcome.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
Oh, of course.
It's
Appreciate you
Close
being
on
here.
the mic a little bit there.
coming like my second home. I've been here third time in,
Yep.
3 available years.
Yeah.
COVID intervened, of course, in the middle. So
Of course.
it's always great to be in Boise.
Yeah, it's always nice to have you. And you're in town, and then you guys are going to head to PNS next. After that, you're going to be here till
yes
Saturday.
And no. Yes and no.
Okay.
Oh.
We arrived in the US on Friday.
Yeah.
But we visited McKees 37
Okay.
over in Florida.
Yep.
And did a bit of training there and caught up with Nick.
Nice.
Had a really good time there. He was very hospitable. Here till Saturday, as you
Yep.
said. And then we head to California, but Vista, to catch up with Tim at Ethos.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
Yep. It's
And
a good brand.
then we're up at PNS for a few days.
It's hitting all the marks.
So we try
before SEMA.
when we do this trip for SEMA, we try and catch up with all the suppliers.
Yeah.
We just get a lot more quality time, so we
Yeah.
can
Sure.
talk about directions of the businesses and other things we need to talk about. What's going on in the future, new products, everything
Yeah.
that needs to be discussed.
Yeah.
Because once SEMA comes along, it's pretty crazy, as we all know.
Yeah.
True.
And it's hard to get that quality time, so we try and make the most of it. Plus, it's a long way to come.
Yeah.
From Australia. So
Yeah. Exactly.
You want to make your trip worth your while.
100%.
Totally makes sense.
And then, so that after you get all that done, then like you said, you do SEMA, maybe scope out some of the new brands, new stuff, any of the new equipment, get an idea, a feel for that, and then head back over to Australia.
Basically, that's the case. It's always SEMA's always a very interesting time.
Yeah.
I tend to go around to a lot of the booths and just, as you said, finding new technologies,
Sure.
any new products, any possible new brands. For those in Australia that don't know, we're suppliers of a number of US brands. We're the Australian master distributor for the Rag Company,
Yep,
P&S, Ethos, McKees 37, DIY Detail.
Yep.
Now we also supply Buff and Shine pads.
Yep. And Diamond Protec.
Not the Australian distributors. Diamond Protec with the national distributors for.
Yeah.
So, but we're always on the lookout for other brands that may complement our range and brands that we think may benefit the market in Australia.
Yeah.
So.
No, and that's the cool thing is seeing the growth over these last, because I've known you now almost 7 years, 6 years. Five, 6, going on our 6.
Going on
It's
6.
been a
March,
going on 6.
March 2018 or April
Yeah,
2018. We caught up
that's
with
right.
the International Car Wash Show.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was when we met. And it's crazy to see what your business has grown into and what it was when you and I met originally. You were looking for microfiber and for car wash systems because you were selling and building and designing car wash, weren't you?
No. Close.
Close.
Close, but we a company called All Care Vehicle Wash Solutions.
Yeah.
And we've been suppliers of the consumables for car washes.
Okay, consumables,
The chemicals,
yeah.
spare
Chemical,
parts,
yeah.
vending, everything you need to run your car wash.
Correct.
In Australia.
That's what it was.
My background's been in the cleaning chemical industry, but concentrating on car washes since 2001.
Right.
Okay.
So it was just a natural progression when I had my own business with some partners
Yeah.
that we followed that lead, and we just went into the consumable business. So
Sweet. And now you're saying it's morphed, it's grown. It's now, because it's more auto detailing focused, it's kind of taken on this new kind of change or movement. Not so much the car wash industry. Now it's actually into the car care and car, for the dealers, distributors, or not the dealers, but I'm saying the DIYers, the shop owners. You've focused more on that in this. It's kind of just grown that. You haven't really focused, it's just kind of moved that way.
yeah, it has. Look, we had an interesting strategy when we started up the business. So there's two markets. There's the enthusiast consumer market and there's the professional market.
Correct.
So because we already had a business, which is the all care business in the car wash industry, that still played the role in our professional market. So all of these brands were sold primarily to detailers as all care customers.
Correct.
Whereas on the car care side of the business, our strategy was to start up a dealer network, which we've developed over the past 5 years, where we're primarily supplying to the consumer market, and obviously our dealers have their own trade customers as well. So there were two distinct businesses in that respect, even on the car care product side. But the car care business, and let's say the car care product business, because that includes the price we're selling to the professionals, has grown exponentially in the last 5 years. To the stage now where we're actually in the process of winding up the car wash business, the all care business, and we are going to focus purely on car care and the car care products. So the business has changed enormously in the past probably 12 to 18 months.
Sweet. Well, that is
All
awesome.
things going on.
Well,
so.
and that also benefits all the detailers and enthusiasts in Australia,
of course.
because now they have folks that are more focused on products that they're looking for, products that they want, products that they see through us, through just social media in general. They can get those items now.
So basically, in a roundabout way, what I'm going to point out to you guys watching at home right now, if you have questions that specifically pertain to maybe the Australian market or anything like that, now's your chance to really get some great answers from someone who spends a lot of time there and actually can speak to the market conditions and, what detailing is like down there. And if you're curious, if you're not from there and you just want to know, Mark's your guy.
Yeah. And as we've said, we've got listeners from all over the world. Yeah. And they handle Australia, but also New Zealand as well. Pick up if you're there, right?
We do. We have a distributor in New Zealand. I'd be happy to get a secondary one, but we do have a dealer in New Zealand that primarily carries P&S and the Rag Company. None of the other brands at the moment. Yeah. So we do try and capture the New Zealand market, but a lot of our Australian dealers actually have New Zealand customers.
Yeah.
Okay.
The problem between Australia and New Zealand is freight between the countries is very expensive.
Yeah.
Which seems ridiculous when you're that close together. It's like
100%. 100%.
you guys are the only neighbors for quite a ways. So,
well, it is. It's the same issues we have in Western Australia. So Australia's a big place.
yeah, right. It's huge.
As I constantly say, and I've done other videos with you, Levi, and I say the same thing every time: that big country, small population, 27 odd million people, which is basically less people than in the state of California.
Yeah.
So vast continent, not a lot of people. So we have dealers along the eastern seaboard and South Australia and Northern Territory, so the majority of Australia. We can't get a dealer to set up a dealer in Western Australia because of issues with freight and time lapse and everything else. It just makes it difficult, but it's still the same country.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that must make it a little hard for people who want to do that kind of thing but live up there. So
100%. So obviously there's a lot of people that are buying in Western Australia off the eastern seaboard.
That would make more sense.
But not practical necessarily for dealers to set up in Western Australia. So if anyone's listening in Western Australia and wants to speak to me about becoming a dealer, be more than happy to listen.
There you go.
And have a chat.
All right, guys. So, as you know, a little bit of housekeeping. Not only is Mark here hanging out with us today and tomorrow, he'll be here for the grand opening of the storefront. We've got our storefront opening this Saturday, so if you're local, please come in and hang out with us 10 to 2 here at the Rag Company. Right now, Anthony, the reason he's not here is he's in the Justin Pate, Avery Dennison color change class. literally taking the class. He's looked in on them. He's wandered around. He's taken pictures. He's done some stuff, but he's never actively taken the class as a participant.
Right. This is kind of forcing his hand to actually get involved.
And I am very proud
that's
of
great.
him today.
I think that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm very proud of him. He's actually being the student. Like he sat there for the class, and then when they had a break, he came out and then went back in, and he's being a good student.
Yes.
So,
well, and here's the other thing. So just so you understand, if you have questions for Mark, now's going to be the time to do it.
Yeah, because we're going to swap them.
At that halfway point during the show, we always have our first block and our second block. Mark's going to bounce out back to the class, and Anthony's going to come in for that. So
there you go.
We're going to do a little switch.
Mark will probably go say hi and talk to some other people. He doesn't need to go back to the class.
You got a lot to do, so we get it.
But, so, sales going on. 20% off almost everything in the store. You can utilize that code GHOST20 and pick up the new Ghost Dusters shirt. That way you can enjoy. As you see, larges are sold out. Holy cow, large is already gone. So we've got the sale, and then we've got mystery boxes available as well. So we've got 4 mystery boxes there, and you're able to pick those up for $99, which will be sweet. So there's all kinds of stuff Anthony's thrown in there. Tons of people have been buying them already. We're really impressed with everybody picking these things up.
I think it's because people know Anthony is the one who
Anthony
helps select
curated each one of these boxes.
He's very particular, and that could be a good or a bad thing. It all depends. It's a mystery, right? So you're going to find out. But remember, if you love it or you hate it, talk to Anthony.
That's right. Yeah. Any hate and or joy and love, send to anthony@theragcompany.com. But yeah, you also, every order going out while supplies last, it's Thursday, so you never know. There is a treat going out with every order, as well as a sticker. So you get a free gift and the limited edition Ghost Duster sticker. So
it's a good one.
Make sure. Oh, it's saying it's sold out even. Look
Holy
at that.
cow, is that
so
true?
it may be already out. You never know. So good kudos to you guys that jumped in early. And if you didn't get yours yet, I am sorry. That sucks.
We've been trying to give people all the heads up we can.
We have. We've done a good job, Dane.
We're in the latter part of the week, so understandably these things move. But you know what? There's still shirts. There's still other stuff.
Yeah, there's still shirts available. Larges, like we said, are already sold out. Sorry, everybody.
So bear in mind. Or, aspirationally, maybe you're planning on going from that large to that medium. Maybe now's your chance. Or going to that extra large.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Holidays are coming up.
That's
you're going to eat some food. You want to
prep ahead.
You need to bulk up. Put on a little mask. Get an extra large.
All right, fine. Or the triple XL. Whatever you need.
Double, triple, whichever
it's all
you want. It's all right. Well, thank you, Mark, for joining us.
Yes.
We are going to start answering some of these questions. Grant Hawtree saying live in 69. And then Dino popping in saying happy Friday Eve, guys. How are you doing?
Very well.
We're good,
thank
Dino.
you, Dino.
Thank you, man. And then let's see. We'll name him Travis.
We're still making up names.
Happy Friday, Junior, everyone. I hope all are well. How's things going with the sale? I missed out on the shirt in my size, so I just spent that $30 on more product.
Oh, man.
Man, we told you. You got to jump on it. You had to jump on it on Monday morning when it went live.
This always happens, and we always try and give people the heads up.
I'm sorry that you're a large size. Brian saying, how would you prepare matte paint for PPF, for matte PPF? Clean it. That's literally... Like, you can't polish matte paint, so there's no polishing that he's done. You just need to clean it and clay it. Absolute clay scrubber, great combo. And then get that surface ready to rock and roll, and then throw down your matte PPF. There's not a lot to do. Raphael saying, hey, guys, I have a question regarding why I can't keep my rear door protected. I've used long-lasting coating and only take one wash to remove it. Rest of the panels have no issues at all. Okay, Raphael.
Dirty panel.
It's a dirty panel.
Yeah.
So you can put a long-lasting coating on a panel, but if you're not washing it properly, and I know everybody goes, but I'm washing it, man. I'm washing it.
There's washing it, and then there's washing.
There's washing and there's washing. So the problem is that rear door gets kicked up from the front tire, right? So it's going to get that spray up all down the side. The hard part is what you don't realize is that is the most dirty area of your vehicle next to maybe the front or the very back where everything gets kicked back up. Many, many times we see people when they send us pictures and go, my coating failed. They're washing that part of the door.
Right.
And they're showing us only that part of the door. Because if they show us the roof, if they show us the hood, plenty of water behavior.
Sure, yeah.
They're like, look, the water's flat here. 9 times out of 10, we tell you to rewash that panel. Just wash it one more time.
It's still contaminated.
It's just dirty. That's all.
Yeah.
And 90% of the time, they literally wash that panel, and all of a sudden their hydrophobics are back. And they're
Crazy
like,
how that happens.
oh, didn't know that. And we had even Jamie the Cleaner, Grand Ambassador, Challenger
Of course.
for the Grand Ambassador
He's a
Prize
true
this
fighter,
year.
if there ever was one.
He made a whole video on his YouTube channel on Jamie the Cleaner that he thought Diamond Protec had failed on his car. DB36 had failed.
Yeah.
And then I literally sent me the video and I said, or the clip, and I said, just wash it again. And I commented, I think, just wash it again.
Which to some
Just
people
dirty.
sounds like really condescending or like somehow just patronizing, but
It
it's like,
does
seriously,
sound, it does sound
try
that
it,
way.
though.
But that's
Seriously,
the
try
thing. You've got guys that are using soaps, they're using their pressure washers to get all this stuff out, right? And then they go, I washed it and I cleaned it. And it's like,
Okay.
one
it
more
again.
round, do it again, and you'll see the difference in it. And it's funny to watch. I don't know if you see a lot of
No, I
that.
can back it up. I recently got a new car and I put on the Diamond Protec 120, Pro 120
Yeah.
Okay, 120,
on the
yeah.
car. So I just wanted to do that. So from a supplier's perspective, I wanted to
Yeah.
be able to test it and check out the hydrophobics, the protection, how it looks. It was just the
See
right
for
product
yourself,
to use
yeah.
for myself, right? So, and I found that after a few months, and I was washing it only every 2 or 3 weeks. I just wanted
Yeah.
to let it get dirty and wash it, and kind of like what
Yeah.
Anthony did
Yeah.
when he used Diamond Protec the first time. And I found after about 3 months, I washed it, same thing happened. The hydrophobics on the car wasn't what I expected, but I did exactly that, Levi. I actually washed it a second time, and hydrophobics were as good as they were at the start.
Yeah.
Because I hadn't
Imagine
removed all the contaminants. And let me add that my car's not garaged.
Yeah.
It sits outside, so
You get the
it gets
elements.
gets the elements, gets a lot of dust, dirt. You know, I drive it a reasonable amount. New car, you like driving it. But after I washed it the second time, exactly as you just explained, it came up as good as new. Hydrophobics was sensational.
Yeah, and that's what a lot of people just don't realize is it's just a little dirtier. That's all. And that's the only thing. And so most people always see it and go, in their brain they think, I just washed that. But what you don't realize is back when I would prep a car for a new, like if it was, let's say Dane, you've got that sweet rental car sitting out there that you just picked up, right? That
They
Altima.
finally gave me a rental car. Finally.
So that sweet car out there,
Yeah.
right? Let's say it's yours. Let's say you got rid of the Jag for what's out there.
Oh God, I
Right?
hope not.
And you're like, Levi, I need you to prep this and coat it and get it ready. What most people don't realize is when I do that,
Yeah.
I'll wash a car 3 or 4 times
Yeah.
in different levels and different stages of chemistry. So I may do one wash with iron removal,
Yeah.
and then I'll wash it, and I'll finish it, and then I'll do the next wash with acid. And I'll do an acidic soap or
Water
a
spot
low pH or
remover.
water spot remover. And so now I'm on a lower pH, and I'll wash the whole car with that. Or I may start with a super high pH with pre-cleaning and degreasers and active cleaners to where I'm on the opposite end of the pH scale, and I've gone heavy 12, 14 pH, and then I go to an iron removal, and then I go to an acid. And then my final wash is usually just a pH neutral soap or even something like Absolute or O1R.
Sure.
Just once I'm done, then I'll just hit it with that. And
Final
then I'll polish and coat and do all that stuff. And so some people go, oh my gosh, that's overkill.
Yeah.
But what they don't know is I'm not scrubbing every time, but I'm using the chemicals in the way that they're intended to remove certain particulates of dirt, because not all the dirt is removed. Some dirt is removed with the high pH. Some dirt is not. Some things are minerals and things that have built up that need the acid or a fallout remover to remove that.
Sometimes even if you apply the most elbow grease possible, it really comes down to the chemistry of it, whether it breaks loose or not.
100%. Yeah.
Can I add a little bit to
Yeah,
that?
of course.
Yeah.
Okay, so my background, for those of you that don't know, is in the chemical industry. I've been supplying car wash chemicals for many, many
That's your
years. and
expertise.
It's my expertise. And you talk, say, about touch-free car washes.
Yeah.
And there's either single-step or two-step car washes. Single-step uses high pH products. Two-step uses low pH followed by high pH. And again, acid alkali, we've always been trained not to say acid alkali.
Right,
Low
yeah.
pH, high pH. The reason why you use both products is that there are organic soils and inorganic soils. So organic soils are bugs, oils, greases. They come from living things. Inorganic oils don't. So minerals from the ground is inorganic. When you're driving your car, you get both types of soil.
Correct.
On your car, both organic and inorganic. And because you're using an alkaline cleaner, doesn't mean you're going to fully remove the contaminants on the car. So what you're saying, Levi, is correct. If you're using a mix, when you're not getting the results you want from your coating or your paintwork, you just can't get it clean, there's no water behaviour on it, you need to use both so you remove both the organic soils and the inorganic soils. And that's a basic chemistry on why it actually works that way.
Yeah.
And if you don't remove both, you're not going to get the water reaction that you want.
Yep.
Because you still got contamination on your car.
Sure.
Yeah, that's a huge thing that a lot of guys just don't think about it. They don't know that. They go, I'm using a pH neutral soap because I have it coated. Okay.
I took this soap, I used it on this dirt, the dirt didn't move, this soap sucks.
Yeah.
I've seen that logic applied many times when they don't understand. It's down to the chemistry of what you're applying and what you're putting it on.
Yeah, that's really all it boils down to. Plus, certain, like you say, long-lasting coatings.
Yeah.
Certain coatings benefit from either or. Some really like a high alkaline or a high pH or a low pH wash. They don't always just need that. So there's a lot of stuff to. But anyway, that's the thing. Basic thing: wash it again.
One thing I wanted to stress to people is not to be intimidated by us talking about all these variables and stuff. 9 times out of 10, you're not going to run into that.
Right.
But there's always that exception to the rule, and that's where this stuff applies. Most people, you use a soap on your car, you're going to be able to remove most everything you need. That's not unusual.
Yeah, because you have protection on the surface.
Because you got protection on the surface. You were smart. You applied a wax or a sealant or a coating, something. And that really goes a long way towards making it easier the next time. Or a good rinseless wash makes it easier the next time you go back. It kind of remembers, and it makes it easier to work on. But we don't want to intimidate people who are new to this and go, oh my God, there's so much going on. It's like, no, you can get your feet wet, and then from there you can kind of learn a little bit more. It's just as you go.
Yep.
But this is mostly geared towards people who have been doing this a while and they're convinced, oh no, something's wrong with this product, as opposed to, well, maybe it's not clean enough yet.
Yeah.
So that's all. Yep. All right, moving on.
All right, Superauto saying countdown to shenanigans. What's up? Ken? Appreciate it, man. And then Darren saying, hello, you beautiful lot. Hope you are all doing well. Sat ready and waiting to see my 3 top guys. Someone needs to send me the address on where this honey needs to go. 5430 West State Street, Boise, Idaho 83703. Darren, you can look it up on our website. It says it right under the about. And then Superauto with a 2-minute warning, and Bearded Hunter, another Grand Ambassador contender, just like Darren, saying, what is up, my dudes? Hope your Thursday's going great. On the topic of paint coatings, what's your favorite at the moment? So my 2 favorite products at the moment this is an easy one. One, I like everything that Diamond Protec makes. The other one that I really like that's not technically a coating, but I really like it, is Inspiration Defender. PNS Defender. It's amazing.
It's like a middle ground. It's not quite there with the coating thing, but it's stronger than Bead Maker and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's like a happy medium.
I used it last night.
Yeah,
It was great.
you're a fan for sure.
Really do.
How about you? Because you carry PNS products.
Yeah, we do. And the PNS brand in Australia has grown enormously, like it has everywhere else. And I'm still, I have to admit, unashamedly,
That's okay.
because of looks and feel, still a Bead Maker fan.
Oh, yeah.
And technology has changed and improved so much in the past 5 years, but for pure looks and feel, you don't need Bead Maker. However, for a longer term sealant, I love what Defender gives you.
Yeah.
Nice.
I find a lot of times that the longer the durability of sealants, the less slick they are.
Yeah.
And they don't look quite as glossy. It's just like you're getting a benefit of durability, but you're taking something away.
Yeah.
But I find that Defender is one of the closest products I've found to give you longer durability with the same benefits of the lower durability sealants. I don't know if you guys agree.
Yep. No, I 100%.
But that's what I found.
That's
Defender's a great product.
Supercharged Bead Maker kind of
Yeah,
feel
correct.
and effect.
Correct.
Yeah.
And as usual, Dave's done just a ridiculously good job in
of course.
formulating Defender.
He's perfect with that one. Superauto says Anthony's fave is UK honey. It's new.
We got a countdown here from Dino.
Dino 10, 9.
Cheese Doodle.
Cheese Doodle with his question
Yes.
from Tuesday. Welcome back, Cheese Doodle. What's the difference between the Optimum maintenance line and regular products? A lot of the products have the exact same name. Thanks. So the maintenance line is designed specifically to work with OptiCoat coatings as well as all coated vehicles. Now, the Optimum normal line, so the OPT line, we'll call it, the traditional line with ONR and all those normal products.
Optimum Polymer Technology.
Those products are still great, can still be used for that. The difference is the maintenance line has more, the chemistry has changed just enough so that it has more SiO2 and more SiC blended into them. So like the yellow ONR, as we call it, in the Opti maintenance line has SiO2 in it.
I could understand the confusion where people see
where the
same-
blue Optimum ONR does not.
Right. I can understand the confusion where people see the same name on a product in both lines and assume, oh, it must be the same. Why does this one cost more than this one?
Yeah.
The ones that are in the coating line, the maintenance line, are in fact like a kind of a hyped up version.
They're all
like a really
supercharged,
built-up version.
basically.
It's an
Also,
you don't want to
they're
call
all-
it improved because they do work on the most
Yeah.
base level. They work great, but in that other one, it really is geared
Well,
towards
it's like-
coated vehicles.
Take, for instance, HyperSeal. So HyperSeal in the Optima maintenance line is similar to OptiSeal
Yeah.
in the original regular line with 9 months of durability. With OptiSeal, you can use it on all surfaces without any problems. HyperSeal, you can do the exact same thing, but now your durability is close to a year to 18 months
It almost feels like you're applying
in a
coating.
spray sealant, but in the ease of applying like OptiSeal. And you get the benefit of, you get SiC and SiO2, which OptiSeal doesn't really have.
Sure.
It's a sealant, it's a polymer sealant, but in the HyperSeal line, it's got the added strength with those two products in it. So that's the difference, is that the Optima maintenance line is just infused with more silicon dioxide and silicon
And
carbide.
speaking for Anthony, just for a second, that is one of his favorite products is HyperSeal. So for what it's worth, if you care about his opinion, you like the idea of HyperSeal, you can give it a try and see what you think.
Yeah, but that's really it. The differences are for coated vehicles. That's all.
All right.
DS, can the Ultra Air Blaster Plus be used without the fluid in the reservoir if the valve is closed? Yes, it can be.
Yeah. It's
We're
not
recommending-
a substitute
yeah.
for using the straightforward gun that just doesn't have the reservoir,
Yeah.
but you can still do it technically that way. It's just functionally, it's a little compromised.
It's just that,
when
well, it's
you
just
have the
not
valve
as-
shut and stuff.
It's a little more awkward.
Yeah.
That's all. But it works, and it doesn't damage the reservoir at all.
No.
You can turn that valve off. I will tell you, from a muscle issue, it's going to be a little easier to hold just a blaster and clean than to hold a blaster plus for the amount of time that you would normally use a blaster. That's all. We've lessened the weight of not having that vessel. And if you can lighten certain things that you use every day, it's going to cause less strain and damage
Reduce
on
fatigue.
your. That's all. That's all. That's why I recommend both. You get one for one job, one for the other. I wouldn't try to do double duty with one, but you can, and you'll be fine with it.
Well, and before we move on, that does bring up, because I'm letting him build comments here for a second, but Mark, as far as products go, have you had that experience with products where it's like, it's a good idea, but it's just clunky, ungainly, and it's not really, it makes you not want to use it?
I can't think of any specific circumstances, but
Sure.
that happens quite often.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, there's a lot of products that we bring in, sight unseen from suppliers, and they just are exactly that. They're just not right, or they're not easy to use, or they don't quite give the results. And
Like a
that's-
weird
that's
pressure washer setup or
correct.
something. Yeah.
That's just how it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's easier to use and you want to use it more, that's the whole point. Why set yourself up for failure by making yourself not want to do something in the first place?
Yeah. Yeah. The biggest thing is just you don't want to always have that valve closed for all the stuff you're doing with it.
Yeah.
I always like keeping them just partially cracked because you don't want to damage the ball valve in there either.
But in a pinch, you
So,
can totally do that.
Yeah. Harry Housewife. Dino saying Anthony changed his haircut.
Yeah, I know, right? He's still got glasses, though. I mean,
then-
he shaved a little,
Yeah.
but
Then Darren saying Anthony looking fly tonight.
got an accent.
Then Dino laughing, and then Kevin D saying got a bag of pearl pearl towels and Eagle Edgeless. What a good experience for coating leveling. That really is the best combination. You've got your pearl for your initial wipe, and you got your Eagle Edgeless for your insurance wipe, as we call it, your secondary final wipe to get all the leftovers. It is a
lovely combo.
great combo. Then Dino, is an accent part of Anthony's new haircut?
Yeah,
Yep,
no, it
that's
comes
just
with the
how
territory.
it happens. And then Neil White saying, I can't imagine the jet lag from that trip from Australia to the United States. How was it?
What time is it right now?
I have to tell you, there's a couple of weird points I can get
Sure.
across. Is firstly, normally we fly from Melbourne to LA. It's a 14-hour flight.
Yeah.
Normally we'll travel to PNS first, but on this trip we have to go to PNS just before Vegas, just before SEMA, because they've got a distributor workshop going on. So we flew to Florida first. So we chose to fly Melbourne to Dallas. That's a 16-hour flight.
Yeah.
Now, I've never been on a 16-hour flight before, but let me tell you, by the time we got off that flight, we were all done. We were done.
punchy,
We hit the wall. And
Yep.
thankfully, I made the decision in Australia to stop over in Dallas before flying to West Palm Beach.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I don't think I would have made that flight. They would have had to have wheeled me off the plane on a gurney. That's what we were like. And it takes up to a week to get over the jet lag. And the issue is you just can't sleep.
Yeah.
Like you try and sleep, and you'll go to sleep at 11, you'll be up at 1,
Yeah.
And
And you're
then
exhausted from being up.
and you can't go back to sleep,
Yeah.
no matter what you do. So we're just starting to get there now, except it was a big travel day yesterday from Florida to Boise.
Yeah, that's a
and
long flight, too.
Kind of set us back. You know, we were trying to work on 4 or 5 hours sleep. But
We're a
it
little
just takes-
isolated from everybody else.
Look, it just takes a while.
Yeah.
You know, but it's when you live in Australia, everywhere is a long way away from you.
Yeah, that too.
So if you travel, you kind of get used to it and you know what to expect. So it's all good.
No.
And then Neil, got that already. Darren saying, Dane, your shoes look banging.
I know, I
What
like
are you
these
wearing,
things.
Dane? What do you got on there?
I've got these wonderful Brooks on, and
Which ones are those?
Now I'm brain dead. I can't remember
Let me
what
see
the
the
actual
sides
name
here.
are. These were the awesome.
He's got the Adrenaline GTSs.
The Adrenaline GTSs,
Which is exactly
okay,
what
that's right.
Anthony's wearing in the class today.
I just love the
almost
pattern.
wore my Adrenalines. I'm wearing my glycerins.
I joke it's just like walking on Dalmatians, but
That's
it's
right.
I'm Cruella de Vil over here.
Yeah, my dad actually stopped into buy some Brooks this morning
Yeah.
so that he could have shoes for SEMA.
It's a
So,
good call, man.
Yeah,
they
he was
are
very
worth
excited
it.
for 'em.
Also, I'm going to do a little something for a second. Nick, if you could put the camera on me, please, just for a moment. I want to say something directly to the camera. Which one is it going to be? Left or right? Let's find
It's
out.
like left.
Okay, so it's on the left. All right. So I'm looking into the camera now. Let's see if it actually talks to me. Oh, it's moving up. It's moving this way. Okay, I'm going to look right into the audience's eyes, and I'm going to ask
What are you
a
gonna tell him?
question.
What are you going to say? What's it
All
going to
right,
be?
audience, all of you watching right now, not those commenting, because I know they already are. Are you watching, but you're not commenting because you're not subscribed yet? You should subscribe. Just a helpful little thing. Also, click like on that button. That's it. All right, moving on.
Oh,
Back to
I
the
like
other
that.
stuff. I just wanted to get their attention for a moment, really
Nice.
build.
And while you're
the
at it, go to
anticipation.
brooksrunning.com, pick up a new pair of Brooks today, and you too can look like
Yeah,
Dane.
That's right.
All right,
Superfly.
Carson Black saying, hey guys, who's going to be at the grand opening on Saturday? I am. Mark will be. Dane will be.
Yeah.
Anthony, I think, is going to be there. We'll all be there. Come on
Yeah.
by.
Absolutely.
And then Sam Taylor saying, what's up, TRC fam?
Yo,
What's
yo.
going on, man? Carl Case, thank you for the wool pad cleaning advice a couple weeks back. Follow-up question. When I would stop and look at the pad, I noticed it would mat it down. Does this mean I'm using too much product? Sometimes, yes. Sometimes, no. It also just depends on the clear coat that you're working with. It depends on the amount of heat that you've created, the amount
Definitely
of,
the heat.
it can be a lot of different factors. So most of the time, it's just product still stuck in the pad that causes it to fold down like that. So you can use less product, but that's not always recommended if it's not working and you're not getting enough cut that you want. So it can be a number of things. What you can do is try to load that pad. I recommend priming a wool pad before you use it by kind of loading up as much as the liquid as you can or compound in the pad, because you are going to mat it down that first round, and then you're going to blow it out and then put some more in there. And then hopefully you can get to a good happy medium spot where it's really cutting and doing what it needs to do.
Excellent. All right.
Hans
next up,
saying-
Hans.
Hello, boxed up people. What's up,
Yes.
Hans? And then saying, how can I get the new Halloween shirt and sticker?
Ooh.
I think the sticker sold out, Hans, but you can, I would send an email.
We could send a design to Patrick if he really wants to.
We can also send the
maybe do
design to
something with
Patrick.
that.
But you can. So Hans is in the Netherlands.
Yeah.
And
figured.
He's a ways off.
Hans, you can go to. You can. I would send an email to support at the Rag Company, honestly, or to Lucas at the Rag Company, just so you can find out, because it's not a chemical, so I don't understand why you can't order it.
Right.
That's it might be something that, we just have stuck, because we are still rebuilding that. The website's been recently rebuilt, but it's still might have some links that are causing it to not ship internationally for that. So
We love Hans because he's always trying to get his hands on all the exclusive like US based merchandise and swag and things like that. He'd literally buy like our Ghost Duster costumes if he could.
he'd buy the
That's
stickers
kind of guy
off
he
Dane's
is.
car from the
Yeah.
video.
I have a customer in Australia, actually one of our dealers in Australia, who's exactly the same. Always wants a special editions, mainly from P&S.
Yeah.
And if they come in, they come out with their Shamrock Shine for St. Patrick's Day, or their blue bead maker on Independence Day. He's always at me. Can you
You're
get
automatically expected to have it.
Can you get me one of these? Please speak to P&S.
You're
I want
my
I want
guy.
this collection edition. So exactly the same.
I totally get it though, and it's totally fair. Like the worst thing they can do is say no, but usually they'll try and find a way.
Yeah,
to
and
help
we
you
used
out.
to be able to do that for Hans when that would come in before
Yeah.
Thomas left, was that he would email Thomas to get it undone, but Thomas is no longer with the company. So, but yeah, that I would send it to support and just see if they can reach out to Maddie and see if she can get that fixed. Because I really do think that at least the items, special edition items like that, since it's not a liquid, they can no sense in
I
worrying
think it
about
should
that.
be doable.
Brian, wait, how did Anthony escape the box? He's not. He's actually wrapping the inside of the box at the moment.
Yeah, he's just in a part you can't
A lot of
see
other
right
people
now.
got trapped in it, and I don't know. We never picked it up, so it's still just hanging out in the warehouse.
Mark's only here because he wandered into that warehouse too. He was looking for
He
us.
landed.
He found us, but
Like-
now he's not going to be able to leave.
Yeah, he got sucked in that box too. So.
Sorry, Mark.
That's okay. I'll deal with it.
Ryan says, my B pillars are too sun faded to save. What's the best way to fix/replace them? I saw videos on wrapping them, stickers, full replacements, etc. What's the best approach in your guys' opinion? Thanks. It depends, Ryan. So the B pillars on the Elantra are just black vinyl. It's how they came from the factory, and I think yours are the same way on the Elantra.
Yeah,
It's literally just vinyl.
Yeah.
Then there's textured plastic panels that snap on over that.
Yeah, where they have like a
Usually.
little crinkle texture to them.
There's that style, and then there's the painted piano black,
which my
style.
Ford C-Max had, and they were always scratched.
Yeah,
Always.
which my wife's car has. Now, if it's the painted piano black style, there's two ways about it. You can go buy replacements from the manufacturer. You can get new ones.
Which are way more expensive than you expected to be every time.
They are. Second, you can go on eBay or Amazon and order a replacement. They have those that are much cheaper. Now, mind you, when you do that, the clear coat on the painted versions is not nearly strong enough as the OEM. So they will fail faster. You will buy them, you'll put them on, you go, these are great. 2 years later, they look absolutely horrible.
It's like the same clear they use on the interior glossy black plastics, like the piano.
It's
trim
just like
stuff.
not designed for outdoors, so it doesn't have any UV inhibitors.
I'm pretty sure it's just the same as the interior stuff, which is not protected.
Same
from
thing
sunlight.
with, well, that's true. It usually isn't. And then the same thing with the textured plastics. If you buy them second, from like eBay or Amazon, same thing. That plastic doesn't have nearly the UV protection that an OEM product would from the manufacturer. So those are the reasons of why those prices are a little more expensive. Short of that, if you're okay with them dying off every couple of years and they're cheap enough, you can just swap them out every couple of years. The other thing you could do is buy them before you install them. Go down and grab yourself a can of 2K Clear.
Yep.
And paint them with 2K Clear. Or if you don't feel comfortable painting them, have a body shop paint them. It's usually like $50, $75, maybe $100. Take
But
them in
honestly,
there.
with that trim, anybody could paint those. Even me.
No, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like you could take them home, you could lay them on a piece of cardboard, and you could paint them yourself. But that way you get the benefits with the 2K Clear. Comes one in a rattle can. Two has UV in it, and it has to be a 2K Clear. Yeah. Those are the kind that's the kind you want. But then you can make it last a lot longer. And we tell people to do this with headlights. You buy cheap headlights or replacement headlights from Amazon or eBay for your vehicle, spray them in 2K clear or PPF them.
Because when they arrive, they're either not protected or what they do have on them is usually garbage. For
and it's not
aftermarket
going to last
headlights.
very long.
If you're somebody who's like, ooh, I want to do an LED, retrofit kit or like swap kit, that stuff that you find on Amazon, eBay, places like that, it's usually terrible.
Yeah, it dissolves
when they're
very
putting on it.
fast.
Yeah.
So there you go. So that's what I would do. Those are the reasons for it. But dig around, see what you can think and see what you figure out.
Yeah.
Then Harry Housewife Darren, Hans, I want the overalls from their Ghostbusters remake. And Detailing and Reviews from the UK saying, good evening all. What's
Good
up,
evening.
man?
Hey.
And then Too Fresh Detail Studio saying, hey, TRC peeps.
Hey.
Simon Birch.
Hey, Birch
saying
in the
howdy.
house.
And then Kevin saying, being a 3XL guy, I struck early Monday morning. Good work,
Smart
Kevin.
man.
And then Riggs920 saying, hey, guys.
Welcome.
Hans saying, what coating would you use on stainless steel? Honestly, Diamond Protec, the wheel coating, I would use on metal and stainless. The boys at Diamond Protec said one of the great things about that is actually you can use wheels on, and fun fact, Diamond Body 36 can be used on metal. The problem with coatings on metal, and the reason the wheel coating is only a 1 year, is because that's realistically all it can last on that type of metal, because the metal's always oxidizing regardless. The surface just isn't compliant enough to hold on to it for that long. So the wheel coating is your best bet. You can use Diamond Body 36 or Diamond Body in a pinch, but just know that it shortens the lifespan to really down to about a year if you're going to put it on metal.
And that goes for any kind of coating.
And that's any
you're gonna
really
try and do that
coating.
with. There's not some like magical solution that's gonna fix that. But in the case of at least Diamond Wheels, that kind of stuff, we've seen it actually.
But
does
that's why,
work.
and that's one of the things that Diamond Wheels is good as. It's, I think it's, I hate saying this.
The heat
The heat
resistance.
resistance is so high. It's like
Yeah.
1100 degrees centigrade, I think, or something.
I think it's more.
It might be
wrong.
more.
It might be 1800 degrees.
Might be 1800. I
So
never
that's a
remember off the top of my head. It's very,
It's
very
extremely
high.
high. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why it's okay to use on stainless steel, because you can use it on exhaust headers and manifolds and exhaust pipes and anything that is you get some of those cars with custom chrome and stainless exhaust.
But
That's
as
a
he
good
said,
reason to do
it does come down to the fact that substrate is always oxidizing. So
Yeah.
that's just something that comes with the territory, with
Yep.
bare metals especially.
All right. And then Han said steel.
Yep.
And then Riggs920 says, I've had diamond glass on for about a year. It's still performing decent, but I'd like to boost it before winter. Can I clean and coat over it with another layer? Yes, absolutely. Totally can. I would recommend just normal cleaning, scrub, get all the bugs off. You don't have to polish it or buff it if you don't need to. You can literally just clay it. Make sure you use the diamond glass prep, and then coat over it again with diamond glass. You're good to go.
Done and done.
And Grant Hawtrey says, guess who's back? Well, finally got some time to interact. All right, Grant, welcome back, man.
Well, he's from down in your neighborhood, so hopefully
in New
that's
Zealand.
yeah, he's in New Zealand. But at
Zealander?
least he's in the area. All right, next page. I've got probably page 2. Let's take a look. Make sure I got that right. Yes, page 2.
All right. We got
Guzman.
Rafael Guzman saying, thanks, guys. I'll take more time cleaning my rear door. Appreciate the information a lot. You're welcome, man.
Yeah.
Then Too Fresh. I have a different question. What do you guys think about a third-party booking? For example, I've been getting jobs from an agency that gets clients from Facebook.
Okay.
So I've never done this. I will say I don't know how that works or how.
It seems like there would be a lot of sketchy scammers out there saying they could do that for you. But if you've really been getting results with it, then
the hard
maybe
part
you
is
found a good
really
one.
going to be on the quality of the vehicles and the pricing structure that you're going to have to deal with. Because you may say, hey, I'll do a minivan for $300. And the booking agency goes, we're putting minivans for $300. And then they're getting customers calling them and they're scheduling them. But they're not looking at the vehicles. Mm-hmm. And this vehicle is like a minivan that I had in which the car on paper was 1 year old.
Yeah.
With 10,000 miles, very low.
By description, it sounds good.
High end, right? Town and country,
Oh, lovely.
you know. And I'm like, oh, this is a very, very high-end minivan, 1 year old, perfect, $300, I'll do it. What I did not know is that car pulled up, and it had been a repossession, and the people had been living in it for the past year.
Yep.
And they had been using it to store all their garbage, and not just stuff, garbage. So they had been emptying the trash of their house by taking the rubbish bags out and just putting it in their van.
That gets absorbed in
And
the
then just
headliner
putting it in the van.
and the carpeting.
And then just putting it in the van. And then just putting it in the van.
no.
And then they said, you know what else we should put in that van? We've got all the dirty diapers from our child.
Oh,
we
my
should put
God.
those in trash bags and put those in the van as well. Oh, and all these pizza boxes, we're going to line the floors because we want to keep that carpet looking nice, but we're going to use used pizza boxes
Now,
as a floor mat system.
As awful and horrible as this all sounds, in their defense, I think, once you're, out of a house, you get foreclosed on or something like that, you have no more trash service, it does become a little more difficult to find a home for that stuff. Unfortunately, if it winds up in the car, that's staying in the car. Even after the
Yep.
stuff leaves, the smells, the stains, all that stuff, they find their way and just permeate every pore of the interior.
It took me about an hour and a half to clean out all the garbage. It took to get everything out of the car so then we could really assess and look at it. And so I had an hour and a half with 3 of my employees, and I had to call the trash company to come get an additional dump because I'd filled my trash cans within that day when the trash had been emptied.
You need like one of those roll-up dumpsters.
So that's another charge, right? Even if I called for a dumpster, that's another charge. So
Those are usually hundreds of dollars.
yeah, so my time became skewed, and so now I'm losing money on that job because I'm now maybe $200 in the hole, and I haven't even detailed the car yet. I just got the garbage out. And so that's the only thing I would worry about with a third-party booking is keeping an eye out for that. So make sure that you leave wiggle room for things like that in which you need to be able to up the price of the charge because they're not skilled to look at that for you. And most times people are just going to book and go, well, that's the price that it said online. That's what I got. You're like, man, I needed to see it.
If you're in their position, you're going to try and take advantage of that.
Yeah,
as
especially
best
if
you
you've got a vehicle like that and you're like, man, or maybe it's $150. Sweet.
I
You
see
say
what
you
those
vacuum
dumpsters
it?
cost. I could just have somebody do it all for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, $300.
Yeah, so-
Let's go.
Yeah, and that's the only worry I'd have. So check it out, Too Fresh. Ivan, happy Friday Eve, guys. I haven't been able to catch any of the lives as of lately because of some ongoing issues. But through all this, I've learned something positive. Good will come out of all of this.
Oh, good.
Well, good. I'm glad to hear that, Ivan.
That's page 3. Let's go to page 2 now.
And he says, thank you for all your helpful information and education you guys provided us with. Keep up the amazing work. You're amazing individuals. Well, thank you, Ivan.
Just want to
Appreciate
give
that,
you a hug,
man.
Ivan.
It means a
Thank
lot.
you. We got Sam here.
Good day.
Oh,
Go ahead,
sorry.
Dane. You say it.
Good day this past Monday. Placed my order for 20% off goodies in a mystery box and also became a member of the business program. Very smart move.
Good
Great
work.
move, Sam. That's an excellent decision. Very excited to take advantage of this new venture. Yes.
Sweet.
Now, use it to its fullest extent. It's there for you guys to benefit. So, absolutely. Too Fresh Detail.
Go ahead.
I use those jobs to get repeat clients and maybe more jobs from that client.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No. And at that point, you're not using the booking service for those clients because they become your clients. Right?
Hopefully.
I'm
what he
assuming, unless the booking service has some kind of proprietary agreement or something, you'd want to make sure you have that cleared up. But
Yeah.
I'm just curious because I haven't heard too many people using a service like that.
I've never heard of anyone using that service in Australia, but I suppose if you want to try, you see if it works for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it works, you go for it.
There's a lot of guys that use a system like that for mobile,
Sure.
especially down in Utah, which is kind of wild.
Okay.
There's a lot of these mobile detailers that, and I don't know if it's because of all the new startups happening in Salt Lake.
Yeah, there's a lot of tech stuff going on there
that
now.
are creating these mobile apps and stuff to where
So
you can.
Is it they're just like feeding them leads? Like
Kind
they're
of.
collecting the leads and then they're going, all right, so here you go, here you go. What it sounds like is it's specific to his business, but I'm guessing they cover many businesses.
I'm assuming.
and he's just one of many.
Yeah, and they might be that too, where they're just looking for, like, they've got the technology to sort that stuff out, maybe.
I mean,
don't
the
know.
appealing aspect is if it takes the legwork out of it for you, as far as like going and leaving a business card or talking to people, that kind of thing. I can get it, the appeal, depending on how their pay structure is done. But yeah, no, it's just not something I commonly hear about. So interesting. I don't know if you got more to say about it. I'd just be curious to hear how it breaks down.
Yeah.
All right, Jeff. Got Jeff.
What's the safest but still effective adhesive remover that won't damage black plastic trim, KCXT, or Optimum Tar? Both.
There you go. That's all there is to it.
Both are safe.
Yeah.
They're both safe. They're both still effective.
Now, Mark, how about I have you read this next one?
Is a pre-wash really needed? Why not just dive straight into mitt and soap?
What do you think?
I think it depends on how often you wash your car.
Yeah.
That's
in
definitely the right
simple
answer.
terms.
Yeah.
So if you wash your car on a regular basis, you're washing your car every week and it doesn't get too dirty,
you never let it
too
get
soiled,
to that point, then
you actually don't need a rewash, a pre-wash, sorry. And it depends on how you wash. If you're using the newer technology rinseless washers, whether it's ONR or Absolute, or the other
Yeah.
quality
McKee's
rinseless
or
washers,
any of those, yeah.
McKee's, DIY Detail, the rinseless washers are designed to actually get into the time minute particles are on the car, emulsify them, suspend them, make it easy to wash off. So with those products, you really don't need a pre-soak. And even in saying that, though, part of the process is actually still spraying the vehicle first, so it actually gets in. But if you don't wash your car for a month and you've got heavier soil on your car, then you probably do need to do a pre-wash. So it's like anything else. You do things more regularly, it's going to save you time in the long run to wash
Yeah.
your car. Depends
And-
on how you want to maintain it.
yeah. And to Jody's question here, I noticed Jody kind of maybe deliberately, non-deliberately didn't point out like my car or something like that, because if you're a detailer and you're working in a shop and every car that comes in is a different story, pre-wash is just a safer way to go for a lot of them. It makes
Yeah.
sense if it's something you're a little...
Especially when
eh,
you don't know the history of it.
Yeah, I don't know the history of this thing. At a glance, it looks okay, but as I get closer, I'm noticing things. Then, yeah, pre-wash. It's all conditional.
Well, like,
but
take, for instance...
if it's your own car, then you know the history of the washes.
Well, let's take,
so-
for instance, your cars.
Yeah.
So the Jag, that lives in the garage.
Yes.
The Elantra
Yeah.
does not live in the garage.
It lives under the deck.
Correct, with the drippings,
Yeah.
as you've stated.
It's the
stated.
drippings.
So Dane has a
Basically.
second-story deck, and he has the rain hits the deck, and the
Drips
water
through.
drips down, but there's a car parked under the deck.
So
And
the water's just extra dirty when
Dirty.
it gets in the
Yeah.
car.
Makes sense. Yeah.
So, but he said drippings, but it's also just happens to be where his barbecue is. So we made a big joke about
But it
the
protects the
barbecue
car
drippings.
from hail, so it's a trade-off.
So so the Jag, which is in the garage, wouldn't necessarily need a pre-wash unless maybe you'd driven it up to McCall or something and it was rainy and stormy and the car's just extra dirty.
Well, also
right?
the Jag had PPF on it and Diamond 120 on it.
Right,
So
yeah.
it's very well protected.
Where the Elantra maybe has Beadmaker on it
Yeah.
and lives under that spot.
Yeah.
But the Elantra, if you were to wash it, you need to do some form of pre-soak to it,
Yeah.
a pre-wash.
Of course.
Because you've got so much dirt and grime on the vehicle and it's not cared for like
Yeah.
the Jag.
And as the person who spends every day around it, I know that, I see that, I understand that.
Yeah.
And yeah, I would treat it because it's all on a conditional basis. But yeah, for your own personal cars, you know the history
Well,
of
it's-
them. You know whether or not that's a good idea. But for a lot of people who wash their car on the regular, yeah, pre-wash might be a little bit of waste of time
Well,
if you're
last
that
night-
concerned about it.
Last night I washed my little car and I hadn't washed it in 2 months. It's been sitting under a tree
Yeah.
across the street from my house.
Got some sap.
It had some. I haven't gotten the sap off, but I still got to get it off. But I pulled it over to. I drove it yesterday. It was filthy,
Yep.
and so much of me was like, just run it through a car wash. And I thought,
Yeah.
I'll just wash it when I get home. And when I got home, I rinsed it off, but then I hit it with the new reactive soap from KCX, which is a pH of
yeah.
2.5.
Yeah. Okay.
So I mixed up that,
Intense.
foamed that on there, let it do its thing, and then I hand washed it, and rinsed it off, and it looked great.
Nice.
Could I have hit it with something like Brake Buster or Forced or Power Clean or something, or Green Star, any of the other all-purpose cleaners? Totally. I could have done that if I wanted to, and it probably would have been fine. But I was just trying to be lazy and quick to get the car washed before I take the kids somewhere.
And I usually take the lazier, quicker approach, which is go to a car wash. Touchless, but still, the chemicals are stronger in a touchless usually, so that's a trade-off.
But technically I did. I just dove right in with mitt and soap.
Yeah.
But I had put soap on the car that just happened to be a higher pH or lower pH. So I was able to just scrub it, wash it, rinse it off, and it was done.
All right. Next up, we got Riggs.
I picked up a gallon of PNS Bug Off. Do you have a recommended dilution ratio, or should I use it straight up? What do you think, Mark?
I think generally if you're using Bug Off, you've got bugs on your car.
Yeah.
And I think it's best to use it neat, because you want to... The thing about bugs is you don't want to scrub them too hard, because you don't want a chance damaging the paintwork of
less
the vehicle.
physical abrasion.
So less physical work, let the chemical do its job. So my advice would be to spray it on neat, leave it for 30 seconds to a minute if you can, depending on the conditions. You don't want to let it dry in the vehicle. And then you'll be able to wipe those bugs off with a very light wipe of a Jersey bug scrubber or a particular whatever bug sponge you're using, without putting enough pressure on that may damage the vehicle.
Yeah,
so
just letting it rest on the surface and move it along.
if you're going to spray the chemical on, let the chemical do the work. That's by giving it a bit of time. But definitely I'd advise using it neat.
There we go, which also means straight up, in case you're wondering, Riggs.
Done and done.
Umberto saying, hello, TRC team.
And
What's
then he
up,
proceeds
man?
to write a whole bunch of hellos, as we all know. Let's go to page 2, where I will cycle.
A lot of them saying
past
hello,
a lot of
hello,
these.
hello. And then Kevin D will watch the end in the podcast. Have a great weekend, guys.
Thank
See
you.
you, man.
You
Thank
too,
you, Kevin, for kicking in. Han saying Rico. And then Grant. Levi, heard you caught up with Ulysses at the Budco event. How was it? It was great, Grant. It was great. We had a good time there at Budco. Shad and the guys all put on a great event. It was quick, easy, just fun. It was Buff and Shine, PNS, Rag Company, and Diamond Pro Tech at the event. And we had a great time there. And then Jason Rose showed up from Rupes, which was totally crazy. He was just passing through Salt Lake.
He just happened to be around.
He literally walked in the door, and I'm like, what are you doing here? And he's like, I was just on my way to Vegas.
You didn't know there was like an event?
Yeah, no, he did, and that's why he stopped. He timed it perfectly. Oh, and then Zenware was with us also.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay,
so,
Rod and Jody.
We had a good time, but it was great, and I did get to catch up with Ulysses and his daughter, so that was fun.
That's good.
And then, let's see. We will call you...
You got a name for him every time. I'm just going to pop him on screen.
We're going to call you Zachariah. Follow up for dynamic versus full send. Is a silicone dressing more durable than water-based? Let's dive into the pros and cons of each. All right, so this was based on a conversation we had in the podcast on Tuesday. Was someone was asking about wanting to buy the full send from the off-road line and wanted to know if it was similar to dynamic. And I said, no, it's more like natural finish. And natural finish is a different chemical dressing style than dynamic is, because dynamic they both are technically silicone, but natural finish is more of a water-soluble, water-based dressing, where dynamic is a water dressing but has more silicone content in it.
Correct.
So basically I said, what's more durable, or is a silicone dressing more durable than a water-based? Pros and cons.
I think the answer is fairly simple, because natural finish has actually been designed as an interior dressing.
Correct.
Mm-hmm. Dynamic dressing is designed to do both jobs. One of the few dressings that are realistically both interior and exterior, but you want your exterior dressing to be more durable.
Yeah.
So if you look at it from that perspective, I think the answer is there. I think David PNS designed the dynamic dressing to be a more durable dressing than natural finish.
Sure.
However, if you've got it on your tyres and pours with rain, because it is still a water-based dressing with silicon molecules in it, siloxane molecules in it, it's still going to be removed from the tyre or from your trims to some extent.
Yeah.
All right? Different to the old-style silicon tyre glosses, or however you want to call them, which no matter if it rained or what the conditions were, they would last a week or two. Mm-hmm. but that have other issues.
Yep.
Yeah, well,
Exactly.
and
Lots of
to
other
the
issues,
to
so.
the point of what we discussed last week when it was dynamic versus full send. In the case of full send being water soluble, the idea was you're putting it on. It's part of the off-road line for clarity.
Yeah.
Part of the appeal is you're attracting less dust and dirt to stick on there and things. Whereas if you're using dynamic, there's a higher likelihood that that stuff's going to stick around, just by virtue of the makeup of the chemical.
100%, but that was one of the issues with the old silicon dressings.
Yeah.
You know, you remember, you
Oh, yeah,
would
I
have
used
used them,
them.
Levi. You put them on your wheels. Your wheels look great, probably too glossy, but still glossy and protected. But as soon as you go drive on the road, or you're driving a
you're
dirt
just covered
road,
in it.
it's just covered in dust.
So
because it just clings to
then-
the silicon.
In that circumstance, durability becomes a question of, okay, is that more important than the look to me? I mean, if I'm going to be driving up and down a dirt road every day, if I'm using full send, it's more likely to look nice more of the time
Yeah.
than if I'm using dynamic. Whereas dynamic, if I'm sticking on the road or I'm staying away from construction sites and stuff, okay, great. Then that one will look good. But at
Yeah.
that point, they'll both look good. So, yeah, I'm just pointing it out. But
Yeah, so I think the answer is yes. The silicon dressing is more durable,
There you go.
but you've got to
Yeah.
have the pros and cons,
Yeah.
the overall pros and cons of the dressings.
Perfect. There you
Bam.
go. All right, Dane, this is the last one. It's 3
All
o'clock.
right.
Darren saying, Dane got my attention.
And then Superado
Enjoy
pointed
those.
out that Dane eye contact generated 8 more likes.
There you go. You did
Thank
it.
you.
All right,
I'm glad
Dane.
it worked. I was trying to surprise everybody. Throw it out there as an oddball thing. Which, by the way, we are about to take a brief little break here, but don't worry, it won't be too long.
That's right.
We will be back after these messages. While you wait, do us all a favor. Click that like button if you haven't done it, and make sure you are subscribed to the channel if you're watching but you haven't commented yet, because it's a subscriber-only chat. And that way we can make sure everybody who's commenting, did their due diligence.
That's right. That's right.
That's
Mark,
really all
thanks
it
for
is.
joining us.
Thank you.
We appreciate
Thanks,
it, brother.
guys. Thanks, guys. Always a pleasure being here, and hopefully I'll enjoy the next couple of days.
There we go.
Look forward to spending more
Excited.
time with you.
It's going to be fun.
No, we really appreciate having you around. So
It's our pleasure.
Look forward to hanging
There
out.
you go. All right, we'll be right back.
See you in a few.
And start talking like this, all right? And freedom to choose from brands around the world in any color and microfiber towel you want.
As long as it's red, white, and blue.
Amen.
And cut, that's a wrap. Good job, team. Yeah, good job.
All right. That was fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. You coming to party tonight?
Yeah, I'll be there. Just gotta get a change of clothes and snag my backpack from the warehouse, but I'll be there.
Hell yeah, man. See you there.
You got it.
Do you like doorbusters? Yeah. Yeah, that's the one. How about 20% off?
Kind of spooky in here.
Hello? Anybody? Must have just been the wind or something. There you are. Guys? Come on, guys, this isn't funny. Guys?
Anthony, stop!
Hello, Ghostbusters. No, we're serious.
Great, because I have a ghost in my warehouse I need taken care of.
You do?
Yeah, I've called every other emergency service and no one has been able to help. They don't take me seriously.
Non-believers, they're more common than you think.
So you can be here? I need someone out right now.
Yeah, we can do it. We'll be right there.
We got one! Yeah! Awesome!
Well, now what do we do?
Suit up.
Are your guys' packs fitting okay?
Yeah.
I see
Mine
yours.
fits great.
Yeah. What about yours?
Yeah.
I mean,
it's good, Dave. It's fine. Let's
It'll
get
be
going.
great.
So what's the plan? Are we walking or?
no, I already took care of that.
Whoa, Dane! What? You made the flex look kind of cool.
It is cool. It was cool. It's always been cool.
It was never cool. Let's go.
I am impressed.
Oh, thanks.
Dane, this thing is sweet. It's like we're official ghost dusters.
Yeah, man, that's the idea.
I know. Enough talk. Let's get going. Come on. Dane, I don't think that's
One
gonna.
second. I'm sure I can.
No.
Take off the backpack.
Yeah, it's not gonna fit.
Dane,
But
let me get you out of there. All right.
put that in the back, maybe.
Yeah. Okay. Good
Yeah.
idea. Dane, go!
Jeez, guys. Jeez. Let me do my thing. All right, here we go. All right, we're going. Get out. Oh, can't believe we got stopped. Sorry. Sorry. Hurry. Take your time. Yeah, just walk real slow.
We're good.
Job to do, man. Close that thing. We're out. All right, go.
Well, Dane, I can't believe you made a stop so you can get a haircut.
Oh, yeah, Anthony, because your stop was so important.
Dane, that needed to happen. But I suppose the good news is that we're here.
Yeah? Yeah?
Glad you guys made it.
Jesus, where'd you come from?
Well, Aaron was last seen going into this warehouse here.
Wait, so you didn't see a ghost?
Well, I mean, not exactly.
Then why'd you call us?
Well, this place looks sketchy as hell. There has to be ghosts inside.
Yeah, he has a good point there.
I mean, we can check it out.
We are dressed up.
Yeah, we'll go inside.
Great. Good luck with that.
Is he wearing Brooks running shoes?
Must be.
He's sure moving.
I am so thirsty. Why don't we stop for sodas?
Levi, we made enough stops already.
Yeah, I am getting kind of hungry too. Maybe we can start for tacos after this?
I like that idea.
What about Express Cafe?
Could get some cake donuts.
That'd be nice.
So I really like carne asada tacos. I also like chicken tacos. Also, a big fan of chimichangas.
Yeah, I like just plain asada tacos.
I'm a big fan of chicken fried steak.
Dane, I don't think that's a taco.
It's an Express Cafe staple.
You know, for only being ghost testers for like 20 minutes, I feel like we're doing a pretty good job.
No, hold on, calm down.
I'm out. Listen, I signed up for tacos. I signed up for dress up. I did not sign up to hunt ghosts.
Ghosts are in the name, dude.
Yeah, stop being a baby. You're with us. We can get tacos after. Let's just get this done.
Promise we'll get tacos after?
We'll get tacos after.
Yeah, turn around, let's go.
Do you guys hear that?
No, you're fine. It's probably just the wind.
I think we should leave.
I think it's
we're
okay.
okay.
Come on,
Keep going.
Keep going.
Keep going.
We got it.
We're fine.
How about 20% off? How about mystery boxes?
My light's dead. Dane, give me yours.
Hey! Anthony, open the box.
I'm not opening the box, Dane. You open the box.
I can't.
I'm not opening the box.
We could all open it together.
Okay.
Welcome back to the second half of Q&A Thursday, right here on the Rag Company Podcast YouTube channel that you're probably already subscribed to if you're leaving comments and questions, which I highly advise you do if you haven't done that yet. And, of course,
Anthony's
click
back.
like and, oh, look at that. It looks different for some reason.
I got younger.
Oh, my God, the accent's
I got younger, and I got more of an American accent going on. Crazy.
Yeah, no, that definitely...
Crazy how that works out. But hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us for Q&A Thursday. I've been out in the studio taking a Avery Dennison rap class with Justin Pate of the Rap Institute, learning the basics of car rapping.
How's it going so
far?
far?
I'm proud of you. You've been in there literally as a student, sitting there listening to the presentations.
Mm-hmm.
You've got your
flipping
tools,
through the things,
Yeah.
and all sorts of different stuff.
Learn
And
about it.
I will say, in the few moments of hands-on experience I've had with rapping, I think I'm getting a little bit better.
Oh.
I have been in that class, not as a student, but as just a passerby and just somebody who wants to hang out with friends and family and whatnot.
Chat up people while they're
and,
trying to work.
I've been in
You've gone in.
I've been into 15 different classes, right?
But you've been in there taking pictures, taking some videos.
And I've taken
you
some,
sit and watch.
Taking some scrap parts and put
Yeah,
them on cars and kind of played around with it. It always looked horrible. And I was like, I probably should attempt to actually learn a little bit more about
Actively take the class,
the process, and how to do this. And maybe, who knows, maybe I could be good at it. Maybe I'm destined to only be doing detailing. I have no idea, but
might as well try it.
Might as well try. But
what if you get so good after this that you end up starting to do it, and you start off Lucy young, teaching her the skills that you have, and she
I don't know.
creates a profitable rap shop when she's older.
I don't if that's what she would like to do. I don't know how much influence I would have over that, but I will say I am absolutely horrible with a knife.
Me
right?
too. Yeah,
I'm just so bad with
for being a couple knife guys.
I know you guys are the
skill
knife
sets
guys.
in cutting. It's not good.
I have a very steady hand, right, in many things, but using a razor blade on very delicate wrap material, I don't even know. I'll be going. I'm like, this is perfect. Oh my God! And
It's almost like a ghost grabs your hand and shakes it, and you're like,
and I go, how did that happen, right? And Justin's like,
Mr. Bean
Justin's
was a
no
surgeon.
pressure. I'm like, I was doing no pressure, and it ran on its own. It literally drove itself to another area, and I cut through the paint. And so, that's what my biggest thing is trying to learn how to get good at that. And I think it's a very much a muscle memory thing, just like detailing. The second you start learning it, and the second you're able to read the rap and read the lines of the rap and just know what to do, where to pull it, and all of that. I think it just comes with more and more practice and more and more,
if you were doing this every day,
buildup.
I think you'd get pretty comfortable with it. If this was hey, we're going to take 6 weeks off and we're just going to wrap a bunch of cars.
I guarantee you in a couple of months, I could probably be nice. I think I'm getting pretty good. And I feel pretty confident, but
I don't think Jeff's going to let us take
Jeff's not going to let us do that. And I'll be honest, I am still just an absolute sucker for paint. I love paint. I just think paint's amazing. And I love the way paint looks. But it is really cool to see a nice wrap job done. And I think it's really cool to probably do it yourself and have the satisfaction of I did that, right? That's pretty cool. And that's how you feel about your hood on your Elantra.
I love it. So I'm proud of myself for doing it.
You are, yeah.
He's dying.
I wrapped the roof of my truck.
Yep.
You did.
I've wrapped the hood of the Suburban.
Yeah.
I'm very proud of the wrapping that I have done. But I will say what I'm most fascinated by is the amount of laminate on these new vinyls and how strong and durable they are. The fact that you and I were able to polish Ragnarok after all those brush scratches.
Yeah.
And have it continue to last and not degrade.
It's not wrapping paper anymore.
It's pretty impressive. So
it's super impressive.
I think you can do quite a bit. And utilize some of those paint correction techniques.
Yeah. Everybody's like, Anthony, you got to wrap your black RSX. It's the perfect car to wrap, right?
Yeah. And you're going, that's the last car I do
and
that.
I'm like, I know, but I kind of just think the black looks really good. I've spent a lot of money on the paint work. And, it's
kind of want to show that off.
Why would I want to cover that up? I obviously meticulously wash it, right? Now, if the paint was failing or starting to look kind of bad or whatever it would be, Yeah, probably sure. It probably would make sense to wrap a vehicle, but yeah, if you could do it yourself and save yourself a couple $1,000, or if you don't feel comfortable and you think, heck, I like changing the color often, then wrap might be a good choice for you.
Ram, we could definitely talk about the Ram getting wrapped.
Yeah, we don't need to
Nobody's
talk too
gonna
much
miss
about
that
that.
thing.
Yeah, nobody will miss that thing. But also on a quick note, I just
Yeah.
wanted to point something out. So my wife will listen to the podcast on Monday,
Yeah.
right?
Does she normally listen to the podcast?
Always. She always listens to the podcast
awesome.
every single week. Big fan. And
Thank
she
you to
was,
our wives for listening to the podcast every week.
she was listening to Dane's segment, right? And she talked to me after work and she said, hey, I was listening to the segment about the ladybugs. I go, yeah, that was really funny. You know, Dane dressing up as a giant ladybug, battling like a field of chickens. She goes, no. The funniest part about the whole thing is that Dane doesn't have ladybugs. Dane has a particular Asian beetle.
I've heard multiple people say this.
And so she goes, I saw this like in the news the other day or something, like it was like related to somebody else locally that had the same
bunch of the
issue.
same.
And she goes, Dane has an infestation. and I go, I wouldn't call it infestation. She goes, no, those aren't ladybugs. They look very much like ladybugs.
look exactly
but
like
she goes,
ladybugs.
ladybugs are in the spring. These bugs are in the fall.
That's why I thought it was so
And she
weird.
goes, and they breed, and then they stink as well. They also emit a smell and
Ladybugs
bite.
do that
Oh,
too.
no.
And bite.
Oh, no.
And so
Dane's
I was like,
the household is infested.
because so she was like, I was like, oh my god. She goes, yeah, you really should probably tell them to hire an exterminator. Yes, they're gonna start breeding. And I go, well, Dane's house is gonna get taken over by beetles. These Asian beetle things.
Well, it's because of the wind chime.
Yeah,
They got called. They like the high-end wind chime.
Japanese wind
Somebody was
chime.
warning me. They're like, okay, first your Jag, then your Flex. These things come in threes.
Oh,
And I'm
Dane,
just
you've
like,
been cursed.
Oh, no.
No, Dane, it's the curse of the beetles. Dane, you have an infestation. You should really figure out how to hire an exterminator or something before they start breeding
Fortunately,
more.
I have a home warranty I can do just that with.
Yeah,
so.
but
Hearing that just reinforces.
apparently it's a much more serious problem than what we thought at first. With
Yeah, we thought it
these
was just a
cute,
bunch of fun
lucky
ladybugs.
They
ladybugs.
literally just look like ladybugs. Like
Yeah.
the distinction.
Ladybug Fortuna. as
You
we
look at them,
stated.
you would think they were ladybugs too.
No,
It's
they
just-
are in
yeah.
fact an enemy. And
Oh
so,
dear. Well, okay.
Here's
now
what
that-
you're gonna do, Dane.
I got a very
Here's
different
what you're
opinion
gonna
of
do.
what I'm going to do with
I
them
got an
now.
idea. Get yourself some starter fluid. Okay.
I'm not
and
lighting
a
my house
lighter.
on fire.
And then I want you to go spray that door frame.
That
and
sounds like
burn
a
'em
great
all
way.
off.
Yeah.
That sounds like a great
Now,
way to. Oh
here's
no,
what you
there
do.
goes my house.
Here's what you do. You get Liz to stand next to you with a garden hose.
just in case
She's
things
got it
get out
ready
of
to
hand.
go. Yeah, and you're
Oh my
like, get
God.
ready. Here we go. 3, 2. Make sure Callie stays inside. You don't want her coming out when you're mid flamethrower because that would be bad.
no.
But
Yeah.
the same with Sassy. Keep her in as well.
Dane,
Then
you have
just
to get
burn
your
'em all
pest
off.
control under control.
This is all gone
Yeah.
wrong.
Yeah.
I'm afraid this is just.
I mean,
terrible.
they're going to start eating you alive in your sleep. I mean, I'm surprised you haven't woken up with bug bites. Poor the animals. Think of Callie.
Oh.
These things are just eating her alive.
What if they're living? Her hair's so long, we wouldn't know.
Yeah.
Okay,
All right,
I'll
and
worry
with
about that. You guys
Demo,
worry about
welcome
the
back
questions.
to the fun half, the second half
Holy cow.
of Q&A Thursday.
Hello.
Demo saying hello to everybody. Josh McKay saying hello. And then Travis saying, that appearance of Grand Ambassador Man to help wash your windshield with the pink FTW was awesome, to Darren. And then Nate Marcy. At what point do you believe that towels have so much sealant in them that rags to riches won't restore them with pre-soaking and washing? My FTWs are hydrophobic. Use bead maker and OG drying aid.
So the first sign is
man, I had
the first
breathe.
sign is when if that towel is feeling like extraordinarily soft, right? Like basically just like artificially soft. That's usually a first sign that it could be pretty clogged up. And then another thing would just be, honestly, grab a glass of water and take your dry towel, take it over to the sink, and pour a couple drops on it. If the first couple drops roll off, okay, whatever. But if you start seeing them sink into the towel, okay, the towel should still be good. But if you're seeing that water really start to pull off and it is just not sinking into that towel, then that's when you would know that those towels are almost completely sealed up. And so your options are spraying the towels liberally with Rags Riches in a spray bottle. So you'd mix up about an ounce in a 32-ounce sprayer and spraying them completely and letting them just kind of sit before going into the washing machine. You could also do the pre-soak and see if that helps at all. But just know that the pre-soak on a towel at that level wouldn't be like a few hours. It would be almost a few days of sitting in a bucket and then every once in a while mixing it up with your hand and trying to break down as much of that sealant as possible. If it gets to that point, it may be restored roughly maybe 60-70% of what it originally was, but I doubt it'll get back to its previous state that it was brand new, unfortunately.
There you go. All right, Darren saying thank you. Big shocker tomorrow on who Grand Ambassador Man is. If all goes well.
Oh my gosh! I wonder. I have no idea who it is.
Could be anybody.
Could be anyone. It could be Dane.
Could be Dane.
I mean,
Who
I'm
would know?
here,
What
though,
if?
so.
Yeah, no,
That'd be wild.
I know, but
Could be.
That doesn't stop.
He
other
takes off the
superheroes.
mask and it's just a giant Asian beetle.
It could be.
What a rude.
You know what you need to get? You need to get some of Darren's bees to attack the Asian beetles that are in
Darren,
your
if
home.
you could send some of those bees over from the UK in a box, that'd be great.
Dane is stuck with a bee
Opens up
and
the box.
beetle infestation,
my
right?
God.
He's like Anthony. The bugs have taken over completely.
It's all gone
You gotta
wrong.
poke holes too in the box. So that
That's
they
what he's
can
saying. Well,
breathe.
Dane, we just got to get you a bunch of praying mantises.
Yeah.
And he goes, no, the praying mantises have started breeding,
No,
and now
for
my
what
house
it's
is.
worth, my house has always had praying mantises around, many, and they're always great. Like,
Yeah.
just having around is good.
Have you figured? Have you thought about just grabbing some from the garden, maybe putting them
Bring
inside
them
your
over.
home?
I wouldn't put it in the house, I don't think. I got some big ones on the
Dane,
yard, but
that beetle infestation is just going to get worse by the
Yeah,
hour.
no,
I mean,
could
it's
do-
only been a few days, but it's not
What
getting
you can
any
do
better.
is get like a piece of wood, put one on there, and take it up to the door frame and see how many they could eat.
yeah.
That's a good idea.
All I know is when I get home, it's clobbering time.
Yeah, they are not beautiful.
No, I really thought they were
like you
ladybugs.
thought they
I
were.
couldn't
All
tell
right.
the difference.
Grant saying, Mark, Matt, Gibb asking for those rare items again. And then Jeff C., I picked up a pad washer with the sale. Congrats, Jeff. What's your go-to for rinses in it? O&R, Absolute, either one. Also, when using a wool pad in the last cut, do you spread the entire pad after cleaning or just a couple of dots?
After cleaning, I'll do just a couple dots,
Yeah.
especially if the pad's just like slightly damp. But if it's a full-on dry pad that is brand new, then I will do a full spread on there.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then Bearded Hunter saying, don't forget to like the stream. And Scott
you.
D, afternoon, guys. Recently bought a Triumph Thruxton Chrome Edition. What would you recommend to
Yeah.
wash and maintain? Thanks.
Oh my gosh! Congratulations.
Enjoy.
I haven't seen the Chrome edition, but I do love the Thruxton. I love the Thruxton RS, Thruxton R. I mean, they're just amazing bikes. What I would recommend, honestly, is try to almost never, under any circumstance, use hard water on that motorcycle, and I'd probably try to avoid. Try to avoid hard water at all costs.
So maybe distilled water and rinseless?
Distilled water and rinseless. It should be the only thing you need. The only reason I say that is
And
because
some
if
Jersey bug
there's as
scrubbers.
much chrome as I'm thinking on the bike, and I think they did a chrome finish on the tank, which is clear coated, but I just wouldn't want the risk, right?
Yeah.
So I'd probably just avoid hard water, wash it. Probably for the most part, just need light dusting. Fortunately, the Thruxton is a pretty easy bike to clean. Everything's pretty exposed. Suspension's easy to clean on that. But yeah, I'd say waterless wash, quick detailers,
Some Jersey bug
rinseless wash,
scrubbers.
maybe some Jersey bug scrubbers. And then, yeah, if you want to go crazy, you can also coat a lot of the chrome as well if you wanted to with something like G-Technic C5. It'll hold up. Ryan says, thank you guys. Always appreciate the in-depth answers.
Absolutely.
And Super Auto saying, what? No used cat litter in that van? Yeah, I know. I was surprised I didn't run into any of that. Carson Black, will you guys have some mystery boxes at the store grand opening?
I don't
think so. Yeah, we won't. You can
No.
buy them right now, Carson, if you want. And do a pickup.
No, it still ends
but-
tomorrow.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Right.
Have you
Order one
reminded
now.
people that
Yeah.
that still ends tomorrow?
They
It's
all
gone.
got-
That's
no,
why
they
we're
all
playing
know.
all these sale ads.
It's
and we're
gone.
talking about
All
it.
the freebies,
Yeah. It's all gone
the
tomorrow.
tricks, the
Well,
treats,
tomorrow night.
the stickers. If they're not already gone, they're gone.
Stickers are gone.
Oh, they are gone.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
And the large
Sorry.
shirts.
I don't
But
know.
the other sizes are still available.
Sorry to everybody that didn't get the stickers. If you did, maybe
Large
great.
T-shirt and stickers are gone.
We try and give everybody a heads up.
So I will say this. If you come to the storefront, there's a possibility that you might be able to pick up a Ghostbusters shirt.
That's
possibly,
a good one.
Because I saw them in the store this morning.
What size you wear, Carson?
You will be able to buy products, services.
Yeah.
There are some giveaways that are going to be happening there. But as to the mystery boxes, Carson, best bet, order it right now online, do the in-store pickup, and come pick it up.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Shad, pizza box floor mats. Lol, you can't make this stuff up. Yeah, dude, it was crazy once we got through all the garbage when we found those pizza boxes.
Yeah.
So I was telling a story about that minivan I once detailed that had the pizza box floor mats. Mazel the Gazelle. Anthony sure looks weird today. Yeah, that was that's with the Australian accent. Mm-hmm.
He's since come back.
Don't worry, Tony. You'll get Mark here pretty soon. He'll be up there next week. Sam Taylor, I'm wanting to get into selling a car wash bucket package. What would be some products and one drying towel you would put in there? A bucket and are included.
Something are included.
So you could put a mitt.
Oh, here we go.
You could put a dry. I'm wanting to start selling the bucket choice products. A grit guard, bucket, and liquidator would be included already. Those are great.
Yeah.
So I'd add a wash mitt. I'd add a couple all-purpose towels that you need for whatever you want to pick for that. And then you could put in soap, glass cleaner, tire dressing, and maybe some sort of quick detailer.
Agreed. Yeah,
That's a pretty basic setup that most people don't get in
especially
too much trouble.
if you've offered a service or a sealant or something like that, or maybe sell a sealant separately so that they don't screw it up.
Yeah.
Right. I'd probably do something like that. That makes most sense.
Okay.
My guy Kirby says, late today, was washing my truck, finally forgot about the special guests.
It's all right, man. Appreciate it.
Gotcha.
Dane's dripping, says Grant Hawtree.
We were talking about the
drippings.
Hyundai and how it receives the drippings from the deck above.
We were telling Mark that story.
Well, I know now it's not just drippings, it's dead beetles as well.
Wrong side of the house.
Dane, they'll make their way over there.
No, they won't.
It's an infestation.
Not if I have anything to do with it.
It's an infestation.
So far, I've counted there are 20.
Oh, there's more. For Two Fresh Detail Studios says, so the company posts ads on Facebook and they sell the details. They send me the client details. They take 20% cut of the job, but if I upsell anything, I keep that and I keep the client.
Okay, so for perspective, Two Fresh Detail Studio, he's got like this third-party service that like finds leads and customers for him, and I wanted to ask like how it works.
Oh, cool.
He was talking about
So there
how
you
it's
go.
been helping him.
So I'm
Now
glad
makes
that
more
you
sense.
can, if you can upsell, that's good. That was my big concern.
Yeah.
And obviously keeping the client. So good job on that. The biggest thing, like we said again, is just make sure your pricing is in order so that you don't get screwed on a job. And then he who shall remain nameless.
Kevin.
What products do you recommend for a I called him Travis.
Kevin?
What else did
Troy?
No, I came up with a new name. It was Zachariah.
Zachariah, you called him.
That's a stretch.
That's
right
biblical, right?
Let's
is.
do this one. We'll call
Jeremiah.
We'll call you Hostine.
It's called Haas.
What products do you
Haas.
recommend for a pre-wash? Mudbuster? Yeah, you can use Mudbuster. You can use Forced. You can use Green Star. You can use Multi-Star. You can use Power Clean. There's a lot of products that you can use. You can use OptiClean. You can use Epic Waterless Wash. You can use a lot of stuff as a pre-soaker, pre-wash on the surface. Superior. Two-part question. 1, what is the best overall shop vac, wet vac, with suction being the focus? 2, how long of a hose length can you use before losing suction?
All right, diminishing returns.
That's always a question on
really
how long the
focused
hose
on the
is
suction.
before you lose the suction.
Well, you just got to make sure you can make it into the other room.
That's right. Yeah. That's pretty much all you got to be able to do. So overall, best shop vac, wet vac with suction. I'll tell you right now, my favorite, it's about $60, $40 to $60
It's not that much.
at Home Depot.
Okay.
And it's the rigid shop
I know
vac.
It's going to be a rigid.
And it comes with a 3-year warranty.
Yeah.
The tool, you pay anywhere from $40 to $60 depending on your area. And if it breaks within 1 year, you just take pictures of it.
Yeah.
Email Home Depot or Rigid. It's got a warranty line on there. Send it in. They send you a whole new vacuum. And you can do this for 3 years.
Incredible.
In the warranty
I will say,
time
as
period.
someone who bought one of those on multiple occasions from Home Depot, and they work great, but they always have like Father's Day specials and like sales and stuff. And you'll see them put out these like 14-gallon vacs, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Around that time, that's the time to get them. Find like the sales where they kind of go.
We've got like Black Friday
put 'em
coming
out
up.
there.
They're going to have that.
I don't doubt.
That is a Black Friday special. It's usually like
Black Friday
$40
usually does have something.
during Black Friday. It is a great.
It's like half price.
It's a perfect size vacuum because it's not too tall. It's not too big. It's light enough. It's not overly
mobile
cumbersome
without being so tiny you fill
but
it up
it's got
fast.
a great level of suction.
Yeah. No.
And that's one of the things I like. I get an orange crevice tool.
Oh, right, yeah.
An aftermarket one, which you'll be able to purchase at the store now here at the Rag Company when you come in. But you can buy it from a detail supply company and stuff. But they have these vacuums. It's like what you get at the vacuums at the car washes and stuff.
Yeah,
But a suction plastic or a crevice tool. I put that in.
Yep.
And it hooks right into the current hose. And I've actually been able to run up to 15 to 20 feet of hose. I find it unruly when it gets that much hose. I don't like having a lot of hose.
It's a lot to manage.
I like having a lot of hose personally.
Sometimes I feel like it's just hard walking around with all of it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean,
you know,
you got to pick.
Well, you got to be a
To
regular.
me, it's like I'd rather it
pick your
be
battles.
less hose and be more comfortable
Yeah.
than too much hose and have just, sort of carrying all that hose from one end to the other.
Back issues.
Yeah, back issues,
Yeah,
things like that.
Just being tired generally all the time from all the hose.
Yeah.
I mean, eventually
So-
we build some big calves,
I mean, it just sucks the life out of you, really.
It does.
Yeah.
So that's why I like that vacuum.
Yeah.
It's perfect size for everything
Sure.
you need.
Yeah.
Right?
No, it's a happy medium, but it's definitely on the larger size.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Carson Black says, foam cannon recommendations. I have an Amazon one with a bigger orifice, and it's okay. I have the 1700 PSI Craftsman electric unit. Foam cannon specifically, we love the MTM PF22, the Magnum kit. It's awesome. We sell it at theragcompany.com.
I feel like he's talking about pressure washers, though, based on his...
He's not. He's saying what I'm hoping he's saying the foam cannon because
it says electric unit like it's a electric pressure washer.
Carson, tell us more.
Well, no, so Carson.
Oh, that's a separate sentence.
The
though.
MTM, the PF22 Magnum kit that we sell, currently
It's good stuff.
currently 20% off at theragcompany.com right now, does come with 2 orifice sizes, so you can actually swap to the smaller one. And honestly, you should have better results. I have that with my 1700 Karcher Cube, and I think it works great.
Yeah.
I think it works awesome. I have no issues with the amount of foam. I'm happy with the amount of foam that outputs out of that, and I think the pressure is perfect, as far as washing goes. So check the PF22 out. Grant Hawtrey says, Mark, while you're there, can you educate the lads on how to eat Vegemite? Yeah,
No,
by
thank
throwing
you.
it in the trash.
Never again.
It is garbage. It is the worst thing I've ever. I'm not a picky guy, but that
Yeah,
sucked.
and you eat weird
Grant,
stuff all the time.
That
I
sucked.
saw your question a while ago while he was still in here. Unfortunately, it was just the timing was never going to work out.
We'll let
for
him
to
know,
see
don't
it.
worry.
I told him about your question, and he told me he's not a Vegemite guy.
Yeah, salt paste.
So he is.
I already said
Smart.
Vegemite. If you've ever seen the movie Snowpiercer, Vegemite is quite
It's the
literally
stuff they eat in
the food
Snowpiercer.
in Snowpiercer.
Yeah.
The movie.
That's what you think of it.
That's
yeah.
it is that.
That's
what you think
the
about.
texture
It is
and
that.
consistency and
It's
flavor.
literally ground up Asian beetles with salt
with
added.
a healthy dose of salt on top.
It's disgusting. Throw it in the garbage.
Keeps you rolling.
Just
don't eat
beetle
it.
paste.
Chad saying, "Hey, Levi here made our event at Budco so awesome and so much sexier. I don't think it could have done more
then he
because Jason
winky-faced
Rose,
you.
I guess-
when he walked in the door,
It got
really
pretty
brought it
sexy, apparently. And oh my gosh. Holy smokes.
I tell you to tell you to tell.
Leprechaun
I
Levi.
feel something happening.
Wow, we haven't seen him in 6 months.
It's
Crazy.
been a while.
It's been gone.
It's been a long time, Leprechaun Levi.
Popping up. Eurospect, is KCX safe to use on PPF for tar removal? spray and let it dwell a few seconds and then spray down with water. Use a microfiber towel and spray down with water. After all, it's all over my fender, shaking my head.
Which
is KCXT
oh.
safe to use? He's got the next question.
Bam.
Is KCXT safe to use on PPF for tar removal as long as it doesn't dwell long? Ulex, I'm afraid, will stain the PPF.
I think you would have
immediately.
more issues with Ulex. I think T should be very safe on that. But again, don't let it dwell. I'd probably just put it onto a towel and then
I wouldn't spray it
wear a
on.
glove and then just try to do the removal that way. And then just follow up with something to kind of help neutralize it, whether it's water, maybe a little bit of diluted O&R. And I think that you should be fine.
Yeah.
Jay's Car Channel says, bros, happy Friday Eve. Question about Uno Advanced. Is there a good way to know when the product has fully been worked? Is it once it starts to look greasy? Wanted to check with the experts. I think that it's the moment the product becomes very thin to the eye. You don't want it to disappear. You don't want the pad to re-pick it up. You want there to be product left on the surface. But I would say...
I try to thin it out. That's
kind of
because if it's a little too thick, it makes it hard to remove. But thin it out, start to make it disappear off the surface, and then,
It's when I start to see, like, okay, so if there's like, how do I say this? If you think of like a donut with 100% icing on it, right? I like to think that about 20% of the icing on there, it's ready to be, there's enough left on the surface to wipe off safely, and there's enough that's sunken into the paint.
There you go.
Think of the donut situation.
Yeah.
They followed up with a very nice.
All right, man.
Super chat. Thank you, Jay. That's very kind of you. We appreciate it. Let me make sure I'm on the right page here. Scrolling up. Yep. Okay, we're on to page 1 now.
Right.
Holy cow. Guys, get those questions and
Darren
comments in
saying,
here.
must be because I'm from the UK, but man, I would love a Flex. They look banging compared to the UK SUVs.
That's because everybody prefers a cool boxy SUV over a blobby one. So
I don't know how you could even drive a Flex in that country.
That would be a little exciting, wouldn't it?
No, it would be terrifying.
I would.
The streets are simply not wide enough.
Until I get stuck on some like little alleyway.
Or like when we were driving through London, and we were in that kind of like suburban, kind of bougie area before we got to the bridge.
Right. Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah. That got pretty squeezy.
Yeah, pretty tight in there. A little stressful.
A little bit.
But nobody with the Lamborghinis or the or the Ferraris seemed to care too much in their tight parking spot. So I guess we shouldn't care too much about a Flex.
Luckily we were riding in an Uber, so we didn't have to worry about it.
Was an 8 Series?
No, that was before. That was our way there. On our way back, we enjoyed the 7 Series.
That was the horrible car on the way there. That was tight.
8 Series was
tight and hot.
We took an MG there, but it was one of the new electric MGs. And then on the way back, the guys were a little grumbly, so I'm like, all right, just this once, gonna pamper you guys.
Well, it's nice of you to do that.
Gonna hook
Dane.
you up with the deluxe. Gonna get you a 7 Series. Gonna have massagers in the back seats. Enjoy.
Oh, I was getting massaged in the back.
Very nice.
Very nice.
So we were laughing. Sarah Riles, I would sign up if tacos were involved. I don't know what the sign up is.
For the Avery Dennison class.
Oh, okay.
I see.
Yeah.
Or maybe about the ad.
Could be either.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Demo,
right, yeah.
can we vote on which Anthony we want? Yes.
No. Can't do that.
You're more than welcome to, Demo.
There's only one of me, and you're stuck with me.
Anthony or
So
Anthony.
So I was talking to my so we were
what
was that?
What's
Dane?
that accent?
It was
Anthony. Anthony. What was
my
that?
brain short circuited and I turned it into some like bizarro Texas accent.
Yeah, well, no, like
Anthony.
Sylvester Stallone having a stroke is what that sounded
Excuse
like.
me, Anthony.
Yeah,
Can you come on down?
No.
I'd really appreciate it if you came on down over here.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
Walker, Texas
Anthony.
Ranger.
Much appreciated. Much obliged.
So we were laughing on this past weekend when my dad's birthday. My brother-in-law was telling us that if he plans a trip to Disney, he was gonna pay for a limo to take them to and from the airport because it was cheaper, as he stated, nonchalantly, than a Uber. And I go, I look at my wife and I go, what? And then my dad goes, you're not going to rent a car? And he goes, no, I'm going to do that. And so my wife goes, well, first off, he was like, if I go, this is all if, I would stay at this hotel. And she goes, well, there's a shuttle service for that hotel. And then I pull out my phone, pull up the Uber app.
Yeah.
They do.
Look from the hotel to Disneyland, and I go, show it to my wife. It was $40.
Yeah.
Or $36.
Sure.
For just an Uber, right? An Uber XL, actually. I could have done the Uber Lux, right? For my family, to take them, a family of 4, for like $87.
All of them.
All of them. My brother-in-law was talking about like 200 round, like each way.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, that is false. That is false information.
This is not right
It
at
reminded
all.
me of you guys and your deluxe trip.
Well, and that's the thing
back
is,
to
like, I
London,
looked
and
at it, I
seat
did the
heaters
mental
and the
math.
massagers and
I knew we had forgone, like, multiple, like, lunches and stuff in a few cases, so I'm like, all right, we can splurge just this once on this little thing. And ultimately, it didn't cost that much more, so it was
We saved a lot of money staying at the Moxie.
Yeah,
right?
we do.
The Moxie does save you
Saved a lot of money staying there, and you know, and it makes up for the tight rooms by having a not so tight car in that very small island country of darkness and clouds.
Fun fact: Moxie's cheap enough. We probably could have just gotten you guys solo rooms.
We
feels
probably
like it
should've,
sometimes.
you know, that
sometimes
way it
it
didn't
feels
feel
like
quite
that.
so claustrophobic.
We don't need privacy here at the Rad Company.
Craig Schwent.
Hey Levi, is there a service you offered in your shop while we transition into the colder months when it starts to snow? And what was your most popular service and what did it include? Honestly, most popular service was wash, clay, and wax. And that was $125 is what I charged. We didn't do the interior with it. We literally just washed the outside, did a wash, clay, and wax like you guys have seen on our videos. And then we dressed the tires and wipe down the wheels and pull it out. And then I would upcharge for an interior for like another $150 or $200 depending on what it was. And so people would usually go, I had a cheap, we only do windows, a light vacuum, and a light dusting. And I would charge $100 for that. But it would take my guys 15 minutes to complete.
Okay.
Nice.
For $100. So I would do a lot of those at $225, or I'd get people that would do, I'd do a winter package, and I would actually increase the price of my normal detail. And I would do, if I was say like an average detail was $300 or $250 or $300, I would increase it for that winter package to like $350, $400.
Nice.
And I would do paint sealant. I would do wheel sealant. I would do kind of like a windshield coating, but I would basically spray in bead maker on the window, on the front windshield. But I would
goes a long way.
But I would tout it as a winter, like cleaning, winter prep. Yeah, basically, I think it was a winter prep package, and I would do an exterior only winter prep for like $200.
Okay.
And all it was literally a wash, clay, and wax, but instead of wax, we'd use a sealant over the surface.
Sure.
And we'd do it on the glass and the windows and the wheels. And it didn't take any more time. It was the same amount of time. We added maybe 5-10 minutes to it, and I was increasing the price by an extra $75. And a ton of people would sign up for those. The interior package, if I did a winter interior, I'd include a fabric guard on the carpets and upholstery and get a couple of those in. Or I would skip certain services, right? So I'd add, hey, we'll do a quick vacuum and we'll put a waterproofer on your carpets for winter.
Okay.
And people will be like, damn, I want to get that.
That sounds great.
That's awesome. I charge $150. Well, it was only $75 for the vacuum, and I'm charging $75 to install the waterproofing agent.
Yeah.
It doesn't add any more time to the detail, maybe 5-10 minutes tops, but the people do that because they're like, oh, this will be great when I get
It's a
in.
big value add.
Yeah, when I get in and my carpets are a little more hydrophobic.
Yeah, at least stuff's not getting ground
when
down
they
in
get all
there
that
that
snow
way.
and water because their feet
Yeah.
are always wet. So those are kind of things I think about, is just trying to figure out exactly how can I get sales up for a slower time period. The other thing was pushing gift certificates.
Oh, yeah.
As gifts, and to some of my corporate companies and brand and businesses that I detail for, push them and say, just a reminder, send an email to the boss or whoever I was detailing their car and say, hey, just a reminder, I got gift certificates available in any denomination. And sometimes they'd get them and just I'd have someone buy $500 gift certificates.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
vice versa. And so that's the big thing is don't put a service. And then the other thing is add a 1 year on those gift certificates too. The last thing you want is someone coming in with a $100 or $200 gift certificate from 4 years earlier. They just never used it. They just found it. They brought it back in. Put a time period on it. And say it's no good after a year and it's non-transferable and all that stuff. So,
Good deal.
Super Auto, please tell us you're better at applying wrap than you are at removing it. Anthony.
Yes.
Did you see the size of the flex in the video? If so, those were, well, that was a local job.
I did
here.
not do that. I didn't do that.
They wanted it to look bad on purpose.
Listen,
so.
Super Auto, I can remove anything with an eraser wheel. I just might remove your paint with it. The Hairy Horsewife says, so you guys talking, as you guys are talking wrap, I'm looking to wrap the bottom half of my new Skoda cheaper than paint. Any advice on wraps, etc.? It seems to be that if you go with like a brand like Avery, Dennison, or if you go with KPMF, I think there's some 3M wraps that are good out there, but I believe the general consensus is to avoid the vivid stuff.
Anything that you find on like Amazon, basically, of the vinyl itself.
That's anything off of Amazon is not going to be high quality, and you're also going to be paying out the butt for it. So try to find a local wrap place that would sell you wrap, like a distributor or something. And
or
then
look online, look at Avery's website and find out who you can buy it from. And here we have a place called Fellers that allows you to buy any amount. You pick and choose the amount. So if you need a yard, if you need 2 yards or a meter of wrap, you can get a 60-inch by 1 meter.
Yeah, you just literally show up and pick it up.
Yeah,
And of course,
or they'll mail it to you.
3M's always popular, but like Inositech is really good stuff.
Yeah, the hard part is the difference with the 3M is that it's not as forgiving as Avery.
Right.
So
the
you have to have a little more technology.
SW900 specifically is what they used on my Jag, and that was really good.
No, but that's what we were using in the class.
Yeah, that's
is
commonly what's
SW900.
used in
It's
the
a
class.
great vinyl. You can literally crumple it up, throw it in the trash, pull it out.
You can fix it. That's the beauty of it. You can actually fix mistakes.
It might be a good one to learn on or try on. That's what we're learning on out there, and it seems to be going
SW900.
pretty well. Super Auto says next TRC vid, pest dusters. So I'm thinking.
Oh man, I'm gonna go in there. With
I also read that
just
Asian lady beetles are harmful to dogs.
Oh, great!
Dane getting eaten alive.
Grand F saying yeah.
Yeah.
Ryan saying Japanese beetles are no big deal and ferocious aphid killers.
See, that just sounds like a ladybug.
Sounds exactly
because ladybugs kill aphids.
No, they're more brutal than that, Dane.
They're more. You really had to use the word brutal.
I'm telling you, it's an infestation.
They're like tyrants.
And they love skin. They like feasting on
shred your
skin.
skin.
Oh my God,
very
perfect
fast.
for Halloween. All right.
Yeah.
Just think about walking out that door and you walk into an actual wall of them.
Now I'm just realizing I was setting Dane up for failure as trying to being like the king or queen of the ladybugs by dressing up as a ladybug.
Yeah.
They would have just eaten him alive.
They would have. Thank goodness he didn't buy that costume.
How awful! I
He
did.
had
make
it in
that
his Amazon
mistake.
cart, and we
They're
told
like,
him not to.
Get out of here, spring bug.
Yeah.
Imposter!
Oh yeah. Kill.
The interloper.
We'll just send him down the hill. Ron Ayotte saying hello, and then Grant F saying my customer single stage painted his SC400
Aw.
and went from 1,000 grit to rotary.
Oh.
Should I start with 1,500, then up to 3,000 grit to DA buff and polish? Yes. So if they're at 1,000, you go next to 1,500. Then I'd recommend 2,000. Because that's a huge chunk between 1,500 and 3.
Yes, it is.
I would go 2,000, and then you can make that jump to 3,000, but just be careful.
You also try going 2,500.
You might need 2,500, yeah. And then go, you could rotary from the 3,000 or go in with a DA. But I would say to get the best finish, 1,500, 2,000, 2,500, 3,000, rotary, then DA.
Well, Grand, where it's gonna come out is, I mean, if it's not already apparent, is once that paint shrinks back a little bit, right? And that's when it dies back a little bit. That's when you're gonna see the 1,000 grit marks. I mean, the rotary could have heated it up, could have swelled it for a while. It even could have temporarily fixed it for a couple of months or so. But then after it shrinks through the colder temperature, that's when it's gonna come back. Ron Ayotte says, I got my mystery box ordered. Congratulations, Ron.
Good call, Ron.
My guy Kirby says, does TRC offer 32-ounce empty bottles online? Cannot seem to find them and buy gallons. And then the marked bottle.
We don't, Kirby. You're going to have to buy that from PNS.
PNS,
People love those
bottles.
bottles.
Sell the only real empty ones with labels.
If you want spray bottles from us, you get the IK TR1s.
Justin Stats, in regards to the vacuum question, just picked up a Metro Super Vac and Blow, and it's an absolute game changer. We have one of those here. That's what I actually was wearing on my back in the dust.
Yeah,
in the Dust Busters.
Yeah, and for anybody who's wondering, I was wearing the Flex
thing was
vacuum.
heavy.
Not
it was
that it
so
wasn't
heavy.
obvious.
I don't know.
How was that IK? Was like your that
Dude,
felt like
IK.
that IK
Those
fully
wheels,
loaded.
all
like so I was at the Budco event.
All 12 pounds of that digging into your
I was at the
shoulders.
Budco event
Yeah.
after sitting first class in a chair at the airport.
Must have been
that
tough.
Saturday morning and going, oh my back.
Yeah.
And Josh Petro goes, "What's wrong with your back?" And I said, "I don't know, I had to carry around that Metro back on my back, and it's just And I kept doing this.
Didn't you have to get towels to put kind of between the strap because of how heavy it
and
was?
I was like, man, I can't believe I had to wear that thing for 3 hours. And I was like, I'm not wanting to complain, but it was probably the heaviest thing because that thing's all metal.
Yeah, fully metal.
You know, and then
you had the Metro Blaster
on top of
on
that.
top of
that's
that.
also metal. Had to carry that.
Yeah, it was.
But
You're so brave.
He goes, so what was it like for Anthony with that IK sprayer?
It was tough as
And
well.
I said, I imagine because they're the same size.
It's fighting back tears.
Mine was empty, but yours was full of liquid.
It was.
So you were carrying around
not really
like
full. It had just
6
a little
ounces
bit
of water.
It doesn't matter. It was more or less just the angle at which it was. It was just kind of. I had to take it off as often as I could, and that was what was nice is that I could take it off quite often.
Oh, what's that like?
I could too. But
Oh, hey, Dane.
it wasn't.
When did you get
easy
here?
to put it back on?
Yeah.
But yeah, I couldn't imagine if they forced me to wear that for 3 hours straight. I don't know if I would have been able to do it.
Good excuse to go home, am I right? Here we go. Super Auto
They
says,
literally ratcheted the flex shop back onto my back. I wore that thing with the straps getting thinner and thinner and digging them more and more. I did that for you guys.
Dane
I
lost
hope you're happy.
circulation to his shoulders. Will never be the same.
I may not have functioning
We
arms
also,
ever
if you
again.
notice in the shot, it's zip tied to him, so
Yes.
he couldn't take it off.
It's not coming. It's
It was
totally
zip tied and then duct taped so that he couldn't snip it off.
So for 3 straight hours, I had that on me because if I took it off, it would ruin the continuity.
Yeah.
Never
Super
mind,
Auto
the continuity
says,
got ruined anyway.
duct tape and knee-high socks. You got it, man.
Oh, dear.
LHF Detailing says, in regards to the vacuum question, just picked another Metro Super Vac and Blow, and it's okay. We just read that. Graham Marshall says, "'Twas the night before Friday, and all in the house. Nothing was streaming except my Spice lads. Remember the Stay Puft detail brush, destroyer of dust.
Stay Puft.
Awesome. I love it. Thank you, Graham.
Thanks, bud.
Spice.
Dave detail after washing client's new vehicle, still some bug gut etching left on the hood. They gave it a couple passes via hand polish with blue Rupes compound and microfiber pad. Still etching left. What's next? That's pretty much it, man. You can try to sand it, but
let it chill out for a little bit. If you've hit it with some compound and stuff like that, see if go park it out in the sun. Go, I don't know. Try. Basically, what I'm saying is, you could chase it. You could chase it all you want. You can even go after it with sandpaper. Sandpaper would probably get it off and then polish it after. But from my experience, I have been letting my bug etchings that are, especially newer ones, go. Because I'm finding that with just a good clean and a little bit of sun exposure that some of them are just fading because of UV. So see what happens. Franco says, Shazam.
Shazam.
Anthony, this is for you.
Oh no.
G. Davis.
Welcome back, sir.
Tip
my cap to you.
Combined years of objectionable behavior on his massage chair and the way overhyping the last Godzilla movie is anyone really surprised Dane's home is now infested by Asian bugs. Oh my gosh.
Oh man. It's like people don't get nuance. Gee, I wasn't hyping it. I was simply saying if you enjoy schlocky Monster Fest, it was a good time.
Why are the Beatles attracted to the massage chair? They're really starting it's a breeding ground for that.
It's weird.
What's happening?
Well, it's near. I mean, it is near place.
It is.
So they probably smell.
Yes.
They probably got a whiff of it. David Cervantes, what's up, guys? Sorry I'm late. I will have to catch up tomorrow as I am booked today. Have a great weekend. No worries,
See you,
David. Thank you for tuning in. Then Franco, there are only cake donuts.
That's Express Cafe.
Then Spencer Mation, tractor detailer, checking in. Did I miss
Yeah.
anything? Spencer, thank you for taking the time out to meet up to call Andy Steely and talk to him. He called me. Today is actually, I think, his birthday.
Oh,
Nice.
happy birthday.
If it wasn't, it was yesterday. But Andy, happy birthday either way. But yeah, I think it was yesterday was his birthday. So,
Okay.
but thank you, Spencer, for taking the time and talking
good.
to him. He called me on Tuesday to tell me that. So, JoJo, happy Friday Eve, fellers. What's up, man?
Hey, hey.
Dan Pfeiffer with a good afternoon and a very late.
Wow.
Word up from Minnesota, USA. Happy Friday Eve, TRC gang. Glad I was able to slide in
The
before
last
the live
5
ended.
minutes and you made it.
Spencer. Also, any chance I could take you three out to eat Thursday night in
Oh,
Vegas?
gosh.
Name the restaurant and I'll make reservations tonight.
That's very
Spencer,
kind.
when are you going to get there?
Yeah.
That really.
I will tell you this.
We have a lot of obligations.
We've got a lot of obligations this week, but here's one. If you're there Monday night, come join us.
There you go. Yeah.
I'll hit you up on Facebook. Jojo Crawdaddy, receive my sweet stuff from the sale. Love the Ghost Dusters shirt.
Nice, JoJo.
And then Benjamin Lott, why am I so stinking slow detailing my truck?
Oh.
Interior exterior takes 8 hours. I've been detailing my vehicles for about 4 years. I drive a Gen 2 Raptor. Amy tips to help with speed. Thanks. So
Big
Benjamin,
vehicle.
go to our FAQ section on our website, download or print off my SOP. It's my standard operating procedure on how I walk through a vehicle. Take a look at it. Tells you how to wash it, tells you how to clean the interior, tells you how to polish the outside.
I think I know what his
it.
problem is.
He's too meticulous.
No, I think he's walking around too much.
That's another reason.
I think he's being less efficient with his movements, his processes, and he's probably making several trips going in and out of the garage or in and out of wherever his stuff is.
Yeah.
And
You have it on a cart.
This is what Ivan used to beat into people's heads.
I think that's probably where you're
Anthony,
losing.
you have a little detail cart that you use, correct?
Yeah, I have a little detail card I'll pull out. And honestly, I just try to pull as many things as I can in the space I'm going to be in because, yeah, it's a huge killer. Is like when, especially if you're detailing a Raptor, right? You've cleaned one side of the interior. You have your interior spray. Maybe you're spraying down some Swift from P&S or whatever you're doing, right? And then you walk to the other side of the vehicle because you're getting ready to do the same process. And you go, oh, I left the Swift on the other side of the truck.
Yeah.
So then you walk all the way around this big old truck. You grab your Swift. You go back around. And you go, oh, crap, my brush is over there too, right? Go back. Go get your brush. Come all the way back. And before you know it, like 3 minutes have passed in just you going back and forth before you can actually jump into the job. So making sure.
And a lot of people don't realize how often they do that.
I do it. I still do it. And I have to catch myself like, why did I just bring myself to where I am going to be?
So seriously, download my SOP just so you can see a motion and a movement. You can read it and kind of get an idea. Then try to practice that. But here's what I do. When I get in the interior of a vehicle, I'll vacuum and blow out everything I need to do first. Then when I'm ready to clean, I grab my interior cleaner, all the brushes that I need. I usually use about 3 or 4 different brushes, my air and towels, and I put them in the car with me.
Yeah.
They sit on the carpet. And that way I can pick up and work on whatever I need to do, and I work quarter to quarter of the vehicle. So I'll do I'll start on the passenger side, passenger front, passenger rear, driver's rear, driver front. And I work that same way every time. I don't start on the driver front and work my way around. I always start passenger first and make my way that way. So keeping that same action helps, 1, save the number of steps you make. 2, it starts to put your brain into a not a meditative state, but a state where you can just focus on, I'm doing this, then this, then this, then this. Because otherwise, a lot of times too, people get in and they go, I got to do the passenger side front, and then, I'm going to go to the driver's side and do that front section. And then they get to jump to the back passenger rear, and then they'll make like a weird X shape or a Z, and it's like that. Why did you do that?
Or it's like if I'm saving my windows for last, right? Which I usually try.
And that's what I do. I do my windows last.
Which I usually try to do. you could also, with like a Raptor, with like a truck that big, right? If you're dressing an interior panel, right, like let's say your rear or your front, and you're not planning on spraying dressing, or you're not in a windy day or whatever it may be, you do your cleaning, your dressing, and your windows all in that one run, right as you're in front of that door panel on the interior, right? You can come back around through at the end, right, assuming you don't have overspray, but if you're working on a vehicle that big, again, you're making more trips around. So it might make sense to have certain things on you, depending on what your total process is. But there's ways to probably save yourself time, but it could also be that maybe you are being a little bit too meticulous, or maybe if you're doing an exterior, just a clean, right, you're treating every single clean as a full detail, or maybe
it doesn't need to be.
Or maybe every single time you're scrubbing your tires with every single wash. You don't need to scrub your tires with every wash. Maybe every other wash, or every 2 washes.
I scrub my tires twice a year.
I scrub my tires. I'm a once a month to once every 2 months, depending on, because I could do 3 tire dressing applications per deep scrub cleaning before I start to see a slight bit of browning or whatever it is.
But that's true. Is just watch out what you're doing and what you need to do.
You may not have to do everything every single time.
The other thing is people will clean their barrels every single time.
Nope, I don't do it every time.
You don't need to do that. You can just clean the faces and get away with a deep barrel cleaning every 3 months or whatever floats your boat.
Or there's people that polish their exhaust every single time.
Yeah,
and they go, I got to polish my tip every single time.
Remember we had that one guy, we did the Porsche Club the first year, and he was like, I clay every time I wash.
Oh, yeah.
And we were like, how often do you wash? He's like, every week. And we're like,
you don't need to do that. And he goes, I thought that was the secret to keeping your paint smooth. And I'm like, are you parking next to like a concrete refinery?
Yeah,
and he goes, no, it's in the garage.
Now
I'm
I'm imagining the secret to keeping your paint. Not doing that.
Yeah, we're like, you don't need to clay it more than once a year. And the look on his face was just like, what?
Anyways, Benjamin, sorry.
Lots of things like that.
Ryan,
that you don't have
let's
to
try to
do.
get through this. Ryan Rignan said, quick question, gentlemen. What does the screw on the do on the side of the Ultra sprayer, the Ultra spray applicator?
It changes the amount.
Ultra spray. He's talking about Ultra Air.
The Ultra Air applicator?
There's no screw on the side of the Ultra.
There's
one on the applicator.
There's your adjustment on the applicator.
And the applicator just changes the amount between the mixture between the air and the liquid. Spencer, also, winter is our busiest season with agriculture. Yeah, because I assume everybody's done.
They're prepping.
And Jay's almost forgot to ask, what's the latest on the Jag, Dane?
Unfortunately, it's sitting out behind us in the yard, but that's where I'm at until I can visit a shop.
It looks sadder than it's ever looked, and it's just getting worse.
On the upside, the other guy's insurance finally started working with me, and I now have a rental car as of today, so that's great.
What did you
get?
I got a Nissan Altima.
Did you park next to me?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Super Auto 2K, those Beatles are playing Bang Your Gong on the Mini Gong Asian wind chime right now. Kaiju King says, have you guys tried KCX ceramic all around? We have. We don't carry it.
Ultimate drivers. Damn you, Dave.
I did it on purpose.
He who shall remain nameless, thanks for some great knowledge and good entertainment. Have a great weekend, everyone. Thanks, man.
Thank you.
G. Davis said, I had to cover my young niece's ears each time your Aussie guest made a reference to PNS. Ron Ayotte saying, got a coating booked on a 2023 Bronco Sport. The dealer's detailer installed the DISA going to use Diamond Body 36 after an enhancement polish.
Nice. Yeah, that should be
nice.
better.
Good work. Spencer, crap, I won't be there Monday. I'm there Wednesday through Saturday.
Oh, damn. It's the busy
come by
time.
the booth at
At least come by the booth. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We fly out Friday night. So, Harry Housewife, guys, thank you once again for another cracking live stream. And if you're not subscribed, stay tuned for Graham Bombshell. And if you haven't, go check out his appearance from today.
Okay.
And Spacer, also not trying to brag, but I've been watching you guys since 2018, learning as much as I can. Started my shop in 2019, and today we hit 1 million in revenue since starting. Thanks, you guys.
Congratulations.
Appreciate it, man. Good
Amazing.
work.
That's awesome.
And then Levi's SOP is printed and laminated and always in my detailing bag for when I may need it. Thanks, man. Appreciate it, Darren. And then Benjamin, thanks, guys. It's the exterior that seems to take the extra time. I always get what I need in a bucket or two for the interior to cut down on trips to the garage. Smart.
Okay.
Thanks, guys. Totally helps. I'm too meticulous. Scrub tires,
Yeah,
scrub
you don't need to
barrels
do it.
every
You
time.
don't need to do it every
That's
time.
another one you don't have to do.
Yep.
My guy Kirby, night all. Have a great weekend, safe weekend, busy next week, I guess. We are pretty much chilling out. Hopefully next week before we have to go to SEMA.
That's the last bit of quiet we have before it all gets crazy down in Vegas.
There we go. Dane, take us home. Remember, the sale ends tomorrow.
Yes, this is your final opportunity. If you've been thinking about getting something from our Halloween sale, what are you waiting for? You're running out of time. Go. Do it right now. As soon as this is over, go check it out. Throw whatever you want in there. Remember, 20% off almost everything. Plus, you got the sweet mystery boxes, all kinds of fun stuff to check out. And remember, if you love it, if you hate it, as far as the mystery box goes, talk to this guy.
Don't.
But especially thank him, because he
Anthony
did a
at
really good job.
theragcompany.com.
Yes.
All
All right.
Everything you love, everything you hate, all in one.
And on that note, please, before you go, if you haven't already, hit that like button. Helps us out, gets in front of more people. We appreciate you when you do that. And if you're not subscribed, what are you doing, guys? Get subscribed so that you know the next time we go live for our typical podcast on Tuesdays and our Q&A Thursdays.
There we go.
That's it. We'll see you around.
See ya.
See ya.